Hello everyone and welcome to the game. We recently started doing these group sessions with the intention of recording a campaign from the ground up, but as I sit here editing them, I realize that while I've spent a lot of time talking to each of the players and establishing who they are and what they're beginning, I kind of failed to do that for an audience. In hindsight, it might have been a good idea to record an entire session 0, but oh well. This story takes place in a world called Locus. Some of you might be more familiar with our settings of Dimestal or Zenith. Locus is different in that it's a world without gods, thus far. Our main cast consists of 4 members. Morgana Penrose appears to be a young human woman, decked out in leather explorer's gear. She's an archaeologist that has been plotting an expedition to a floating island in the sky for quite some time, complete with fancy ruins containing who knows what. Muddle Senta is a fae boy, setting out after finally becoming old enough, off to take part in some adventures and hopefully make some good money. Eileen is a succubus and part-time pop idol. While disguising herself so she doesn't get recognized, she's out on her own in the world for the very first time. And finally Sati, who some of you may remember from the posted Greta sessions. Sati is not quite a succubus, but not really anything else either. A completely unique being, reborn through magic and practically brand new into the world. Lynn Novamax is a human magic user who makes the occasional appearance as an ally. She wears some skimpy clothes in the middle of winter and has a lot to say about justice. Before the start of this campaign, Morgana went about putting out a lot of flyers promoting her expedition and calling it the experience of a lifetime. Now she sits and waits at the base of a mountain for those drawn by her job requests to start showing up.
Okay, enough of my game. Chloe's game.
All right, Chloe's game. All right, so Morgana, Riley's character,
Hello.
has been there for a while, probably a day or two. Camping out at the base of this mountain. It is absolutely freezing. You are in the far north of a country called Bejo. Let me get you a map, actually.
I found some great hiking spots, guys.
I'm certain you all know where you are in the world.
What? No way.
Also, it's not the map that I gave you last time, because something went terribly wrong and I had to remake it from scratch. But, nothing went terribly wrong this time, so we good.
That's great. I like it when things don't go terribly wrong.
It's okay,
Remember,
it turned out better
explosions
this
need to
time
have-
anyway.
The explosions need to happen to other people.
Here is a map. You are all on the pinkish continent to the top left. Specifically on the mainland, like the biggest island, right around the border of where pink becomes white.
Nice.
You are far to the north, outside where people actually live in this area. And it is just a tundra. It's freezing, and you're at the base of a mountain. You've been camping out for a day or two. You've got a tent, you've got a fire, you've got some food.
16 blocks of hardtack, if I looked correctly.
Yeah.
30 pieces of hardtack.
Plus whatever you've managed to hunt in this time, but, you know, not a lot.
There's not a lot of things to kill here. I think. Is there a lot of things to kill here? Okay, yeah. Because if there isn't a lot of things to kill, then, yeah, no, she hasn't caught shit.
You know, rabbits, mice, other small critters.
Hardtack is fine.
Just to confirm, in terms of things. There's the rabbits, mice, and other small critters. With those with alternative metabolisms have been able to eat differently during this trying time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Cool.
Though, y'all are just arriving, so don't worry about that.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Morgana is the only one that's been there for, days waiting for you all.
I had to establish base camp!
Yeah, exactly. That said, you all arrive one by one. Gina and Steph first, and Kite bringing up the rear.
Whoever shows up first, even if it's two at the same time, I ask them to help me put up a sign that I made, and it says, Morgana's Amazing Adventure. Welcome. And I ask them to help me put it up for anyone else that shows up.
They arrive almost at the same time, exactly on schedule, from different directions.
Wow, you guys are punctual! Huh. Best mercenaries I've ever hired.
Well, with what I've been doing, you kind of learn to be punctual.
Well, hello, I'm Morgana, and she puts out her hand.
Hi, I'm Eiloon.
Hi everyone, I'm Muddle, and he takes a deep bow.
Say those names one more time. Or, could you please repeat your names? I need to get it on the manifest.
My name is Eiloon.
How would you spell that? I need to make sure that I have it right for record keeping.
Eilun.
Uh-huh. And do you have a last name and next of kin?
My last name was closely guarded, and no, I don't have a next of kin for various
closely
reasons.
Guarded. That's an interesting language. I never heard that. Like, those sound like words that I know, but I assume those are from a different language. And no next of kin. Gotcha. And you?
Riley's like, you want to sign these papers?
Morgana is signing the papers. Now, as you saw in my ad, I'm sure you noticed that there is some risk associated with this trip, but don't worry. I have a map. We've done this before. It's going to be great. First, last name, next of kin, please.
I'm Muddle of Theor, and takes a deep bow again.
Could you spell that, please?
Sure. M-U-B-D-L-E, last name, Sonata, C-E-N-N-T-A.
All right, and next of kin.
I don't want you to have their names or their description.
None. Gotcha.
None, yeah.
All right. Well, if you two could help me put up this sign while we wait for the rest of the people, we'll be ready to go soon.
Sure.
Morgana motions to a nearby bare tree
Ah. Okay.
and pulls a small square of vellum's too expensive. Let's just say parchment that has "Welcome to Morgana's Amazing Expedition" written on it. All right, I'll hang it up from the left branch. You get the right branch.
Sure thing. Oh.
And then once the banner is up, I take them to base camp. It is a single tent with a small table set up and a fire pit. There is no fire in the pit currently.
Have you been here this whole time without a fire?
Oh, I light it when I need to, when I get cold.
Oh. Okay.
She's bundled up with like 3 layers.
Do you want me to start a fire?
Please.
Okay. Muddle's gonna whisper to himself, "Oh, foreigners," and he's gonna go light the fire.
All right. It's probably about that time Kite shows up.
Okay. So human approaching the camp, who is carrying a very, very sensible hiking backpack, but is walking up essentially dressed like a stripper. But
Wow, you must be freezing.
having no issues
You
with
hear
the cold.
exclaimed from across the way.
Having no issues with the cold, despite marching through the snow in what looks like a one piece consisting of high heels, a fair amount, high heel boots, and dental floss.
I can respect it. Hi there. Welcome to Morgana's amazing expedition. Could I get your first name, last name, and next to kin, please?
I am Lynn Novamax of the Queen's Regiment. No next of kin.
Could you spell that, please?
LYNOVIMAXOFTHEQUENSREGIMENT.
Gotcha. And no next of kin?
Not that I'm aware of.
All right. Good to hear. Welcome to the expedition, everybody.
Morgana's about to push every single one of these people off the edge of
Listen, all they've done is make my insurance costs way lower. I don't have to pay damages out to anybody.
As far as you're aware.
As far as I'm aware.
Yes, paying damages, that's what's crossing your mind right about now.
All right, and if I could just have everybody sign at the bottom of this right here, showing that we are officially working together on this endeavor. Morgana signs her name in large scripty letters, like full John Hancock style.
Eileen's gonna take time to actually read the contract first.
You hereby agree to be a member of Morgana's amazing adventuring party. Risks are including but not limiting to death, dismemberment, bleeding, headaches, cold, frostbite, losing limbs, not losing limbs, gaining extra limbs, and the possibility of never coming home again.
Sounds like fun. What do I sign?
But the benefits include any treasure that you make split equally among all of us, or find split equally among everybody, and you get to be my friend. She smiles at that last one, knowing that she underlined that twice as an incentive.
Eileen squints at that but signs anyways.
Lynn appears to sign and certainly makes a signing-like illegible scrawl of scriggle on the signature area. She has not signed her name.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it's just a mark. I understand if no one ever taught you how to write. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to assume. Gosh, I probably should have just something easier than writing your name. I'm sorry.
And Muddle's gonna draw a little happy face next to his name.
Aw, that's adorable.
Beautiful.
I love it. Thank you. She rolls up the parchment, puts it into a parchment tube, and stuffs it into her large backpack that is leaning up against her tent.
For the record, because I don't think it's been said, Eileen is a succubus, and Muddle is a fae.
Gotcha.
Also, probably winced a little bit at you calling them cute.
Well, the smiley face was cute.
Yeah. You know, Faye dealing with outsiders. Constantly being like, you all look like children. That's adorable.
I love the misinterpretation. All right, well, let me get my tent all rolled up, and then we should be good to climb this mountain. Out of game. Are we waiting for anybody else? I think that's everybody.
You sent letters out to 5 other people who responded to them to tell them, the place and everything, but no one else shows up after you wait a while.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. In the time waiting is she's gathering up her tent and getting more and more dejected at the fact that we only have 3 people. But we will push on. She lifts her backpack onto her shoulders.
Lynn openly says, so if you're, from the way you're acting, you clearly expected more people. That means we've got food supplies as if we had more people, right?
Plenty of hardtack.
Hardtack?
Plenty of it. Here, you can have one now. And she reaches into her pants pockets and pulls out a piece of hardtack, not wrapped in anything.
Then just sort of, Lynn accepts it and then just sort of stares at it for a while.
And hey, it's all right that less people showed up. That means more money for all of us, right?
Money is good.
Artifacts are better. Here, I started the hike up the trail. We should be able to get up there pretty quick. And Morgana starts to lead the way, just assuming that people are following.
All right.
Having come this far in a completely stupid world that for some reason goes out horizontally so much instead of being vertical and having elevators, Lynn follows.
Yeah, Muddle's gonna go right behind him.
So I learned.
About 5 minutes into hiking up a mountain, Lynn is not quite audibly, but definitely muttering about why this stupid land doesn't have elevators.
All right, loud enough for anybody to overhear that, or?
I don't know. Do you want to roll perception on it?
Hell yeah! 12. Chloe, do I hear that?
Kite, give us a privacy roll.
Roll for privacy.
What's a privacy roll?
You just roll a d20, probably.
Just a d20.
Unless you have a relevant modifier to make the argument with.
Yeah.
I mean, she's used to dealing with Andrea, so she would certainly imagine no one would hear a whisper.
Oh my god. That's a bit of a stretch.
I mean, she's used to Andrea, so her concept of what is stealthy.
There's an echo from the mountains around you. It is clearly audible, even though you are speaking under your breath.
What's an elevator? just the hears you, turns back confused. What's that? Keep walking.
Muddle is just gonna give her a look and then whisper, "Foreigners."
Lynn just has her face in her hands. They don't even know what elevators are. I guess that's why they don't have them on this stupid hill in Stupid Land, but it's an elevator. Everyone knows what elevators are. You get in them and they go up and down.
Oh, you mean like a lift?
Sounds ridiculous.
You lift things with your arms.
Well, no, like with pulleys and stuff. We use them to get supplies up and down mountains all the time. Wait, you mean we should start using people in those? That is such a good idea!
Oh my god.
She pulls out her pad of paper. Actually, how common is paper at all? Is that something that I could say I have?
Absolutely.
Okay. She pulls out her pad of paper. Use lift to move people. Equals elevator. I love it. She puts it back in her pocket and keeps walking.
What do I roll for a will save?
D20, add your empathy mod, which at this point is going to be 0.
So how's everybody's stress doing?
Okay. I rolled a natural 1 on the will save to not punch something.
What are you punching? There are trees, there are rocks, there are animals if you can run fast enough.
There are also people.
There are also people.
What's closer, Morgana or a tree?
I'm leading the pack.
Tree it is.
Roll a 1d4.
What are you doing?
Cat troubles. 3. Okay. You hit the tree really hard. All of the snow falls off of the tree immediately and makes a ton of noise. It looks really cool, though.
Hey, be careful with all the noise. Morgana looks up at the snowbanks above us.
The hills, the stupid hills in stupid land are upset if we shout at them.
Yes, they are. Yes, they do get upset. She visibly panicking now.
Oh my god.
At what point?
Oh boy, I wasn't expecting to die on my first day.
Alright. So
this is such a good expedition. I'm feeling so good about this. She is hyping herself up as you climb this mountain. It's gonna be good. We're gonna find some treasure.
So what you're saying is there are more than one person talking to themselves.
oh, that's not a good look.
Depending on how much time we have to climb the mountain still, I'd probably ask, like, so, where you from?
Well,
do we have time, or have we reached the peak?
It takes you a couple of hours. Here, I've actually got a bit of something written.
Ooh.
It is ice cold. You all have been hiking for hours, and conversation died down almost immediately once you started going in earnest. Fortunately, as you reach the top of the mountain, there seemed to be more of a straight path up. It's not paved or anything, but it seems like a lot of people have walked this path before. The ice is still treacherous, though, and it's slow going. But as you crest the last ridge, you see something incredible. Sure enough, just as your benefactor said, there is a short hop down from a ledge, directly onto a piece of land that seems to just be floating, slowly. From here you can see it all pretty well. It is absolutely huge, circular, with a hole about half again as big as the landmass right in the center of it. Surrounding the area, covered in ice, it's very clear that there are some extremely old ruins of some kind.
Ha! Perfect! Alright, we just gotta jump on.
It's about 15 feet down, for the record.
Alright. She pulls out one of her lengths of rope. One sec. Let me look at my character sheet. I have two 30-foot lengths of rope. Is there a place to tie one of these lengths of rope off?
There are
Any
trees.
rocks? Perfect. I find a good sturdy tree and I tie my rope to it and I see how far I can get it to lay over the edge. Hopefully it's enough to just climb down and get on.
The three of you that are not Morgana, give me a perception check.
Oh, gee. Let's see.
11. Finally, a roll that's not a single digit.
Amazing. Incredible. Fantabulous.
D20 plus 1.
Oh boy.
It's begun, Steph. Alright. Both Eileen and Lynn notice immediately that the island is floating away from the area that you are about to jump onto it. It's going horizontally, so you can guess that in about 15 or 20 minutes it will no longer be close enough to this rope to climb back up.
All right. Ready to go?
Is there anything to, like, tie the rope to?
Nope. Don't worry. We'll hop off before the whole thing flies away.
Hmm.
Somehow
worry.
I doubt that.
We'll be fine. Let's just get down there and get going. Time's a wasting. She jumps onto the rope and starts clambering down. Beaming smile on her face.
Muddle's gonna follow, whispering, "Oh, foreigners," and then for it.
Eileen just sighs reluctantly as she climbs down the rope.
Because magic believes in the power of showboating, Lynn is going to take a couple steps back, get a running start, and take a flying leap off the edge towards Zenith, while attempting to mid-air cast her defensive barrier for a rolling landing.
Alright. Give me a good roll for that.
So I'm thinking athletics and imagination.
Yeah, sure.
$15.
Okay. It actually goes fairly well. Your ankles are a bit sore, and you definitely regret it, but it looked super cool.
You know how in Steven Universe sometimes there's stars in his eyes when he looks at things? That's Morgana right now looking at you. Oh, I have the coolest team!
Oh my god. Alright. You are outside the ruins of a gate. You can tell where the entrance used to be, though portions of the wall are so broken down that you can just step over them. Inside the gate, you can clearly see that most of the areas that exist are basically just the, flat stone, ground that the buildings were built on. There's almost no even rotten wood that is left. It's just, square slabs of stone slightly covered in ice and snow that, that are roughly in the shape of where buildings would be. Further in, you can see structures that are clearly made of stone that are still standing here and there, but here where you've stepped in, there aren't many.
All right. All right, everybody, huddle up. Morgana reaches to grab the parchment tube that has the contract in it, opens it up, and pulls out a map. You can tell that it is hand-drawn by not a professional map maker, but it's impressive. And it maps out a ways about halfway into the city, along with one sec, let me double check a thing that Chloe sent me. One sec. Where is it? There we go. And it shows a big X at the southeastern corner of the city. We just have 5 hours to do everything we can here and jump off here before it flies away. We've got this, team. Well, time's wasting. Only got 5 hours. Let's go. And she puts the map back and starts walking down the street. Says, these early spots have probably been picked clean by people already, so we're going to have to go a little deeper in to find anything worth something and then book it out.
Fabulous.
Yeah, Muddle was going to ask, did you draw that map yourself?
Yeah, I've been here once before.
So, privately, Chloe, do the ruins have enough structure left for Lynn to feel confident that she knows roughly where she is?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
You are in the lower district near the southern gate that used to lead to the beach. On your left is the orphanage. On your right and further down the street is Anita's place. A bit further ahead would have been Claire's place, and then the entrance to the first layer where all of Greta's restaurants are. To the left is...
We've covered enough on that one. So,
right.
Also to talk about there only being 5 hours and needing to jump off, Lynn is just staring, clenching her fists repeatedly at the wreck of where the orphanage used to be, saying nothing, before running off like a bat out of hell into the ruins, headed for where the palace would have been.
Hey, wait a second, make sure you're at the exit before 5 hours! And she's gone.
And if you looked at the map, you would see that the exit is around where the east gate to the city used to be.
She didn't.
Oh, okay.
Well, hopefully they're going to find treasure and bring it back to us. I want to check out that hole.
Excellently phrased.
Oh my god.
Out of character, I admit, I would have thought that people would have said people would react to somebody going into a ruin and ostensibly acting like they know where they're going.
There's a lot of muttering yourself going around here.
I said we had to hurry. All I see is good hustle. We'll cover more ground that way. You hear from way far away at this point.
Good thinking. Oh my god. All right.
Morgana and anyone that follows her heads towards the big hole in the middle.
Well,
Alright,
Muddle will follow, reluctantly. Don't you think we should maybe follow her? Maybe see where she's going? She ran off in kind of a hurry.
She seems like she has her own things to do. If one of you wants to go with, we should stay in pairs. At least.
I don't even know where she went.
Oh well. More money for the rest of us. She signed the contract too, so we can only hope that she'll come back. Contracts are binding, you know. You have to listen to them.
Sure. And Muddle's gonna look over his shoulder, see if he can see any sign of her when she came.
You see
Given
her
you're looking-
footsteps in the snow.
Given that we're talking about someone who's wearing high-heeled latex boots, these are fairly distinctive footprints.
Hmm.
Anybody with tracking?
Ash will probably be fine, and Muddle's just gonna follow Morgana. Because she needs the most help, I think.
Alright. We'll handle Morgana's group first.
Session 1, we already split the party, people.
Alright. So, you all are headed towards the hole, right?
The hole. Like, all caps, all caps, hole.
Alright.
Which is how she wrote it out on the map.
When you get to the edge of it, you can look out over the side and see that, it is about 150-foot straight drop. It seems like the hole is almost perfectly circular, with the outer edge of it being clearly a manufactured wall, not like, a natural structure. There are several points around the outside where there seem to be extra structures built into the wall. Of those extra structures, 3 of them are built into the wall from bottom to top and seem to have a cable running the entire distance. The other 3 structures seem to be holes in the wall that have door-shaped recesses in them.
Is it dark at the bottom, or can I see, the ground far, far, far below?
Oh, you can see the ground far, far, far below. Actually, notably, there seems to be, green grass and trees down there. But as that piece of land gets clearer to the center of the hole, it drops off again, and it's just a big gaping hole that you could potentially fall through.
Potentially? What do you
It's
mean?
About a quarter mile of land all the way around before reaching that point, though.
So there's land in the middle of the hole that also has a hole in it? Or am I misunderstanding you?
Okay, so if you imagine the
I remember
wall
what the
that
lifts
you're
look like and
standing
stuff.
on as a sort of cylindrical hole that goes down to the bottom.
Uh-huh.
There is land at the bottom of that has another steep drop-off about a quarter mile in that is just empty.
Okay. Oh, the first level. The first level's still here. All right. Wow. Hole's bigger than I remember it being. She turns and comments to her party members.
Oh,
Well, I say we take that cable down. What do you guys think?
sounds like a bad idea. Do you know what's down there?
Nope.
Oh,
Haven't
good.
been there yet. I can map it out, though. Come on, everybody has to go somewhere first.
Oh boy. Muddle thinks he's gonna regret this, but he's gonna follow Morgana anyway.
That's what I learn.
I really
Science
appreciate you
just
guys.
following orders.
I really appreciate you guys coming to this expedition. It really means a lot to me. This
I'm
is
just
as
here
they're
for the money.
walking. This is as they're walking towards the cable.
Mm.
I say walking. I mean jogging. We're hustling.
Yeah.
This is a hustle time.
Alright, when you get over there, the cable seems to be a large braided steel cable that is about palm-sized around, so you can definitely, climb down it. It would be a bit treacherous and scary, but, I mean, it's 100-foot cable climb down.
Who's ready for adventure? I know I am.
I guess.
Morgana climbs up and, tries to twang the cable at all, and I'm going for an investigation to make sure that it's sturdy.
All right.
One sec. Because do I have a 1 or 2 to investigation? Investigation, I have a 2! So that's plus 2 to the roll, I'm assuming?
Yep.
8 is my assessment of the cable.
All right. It seems really sturdy. You're pretty sure this could hold 100 of you.
Awesome. All right. She takes off her backpack and lays it down in a safe place, leaned against a rock or something, reaches in and pulls out a second, smaller backpack and throws that on. She cinches that one much tighter to herself. And let me see if there's anything in my inventory that could work for part of what I want to do here. So do y'all think we should climb on it, or we wrap something around it and slide down?
I was definitely thinking ziplining down would be a better bet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do we have anything that can hold up to that? I mean, I have a bedroll and a tent. We could use those.
How much rope do you have left?
I left one 30-foot length just in case we needed to climb back up. Hopefully we can. So I have one 30-foot length left.
I mean, we could cut that into pieces. Use that.
All right, let's do it. And notably, the small backpack that she has has a whip on one side of it and a pickaxe dangling from the other. She puts on her archaeologist hat. It looks like Indiana Jones's. And takes the rope, cuts it into equal pieces, and wraps it around one hand, throws it over the cable, wraps around the other hand, and says, "All right, gang, you ready?" Her smile looks manic. She's trying to cover panic. Off we go! Slides on down.
Each of you give me a roll for how well that goes. You can add athletics or anything else you think might apply.
I don't think I have anything.
This will probably be athletics. Yeah. Now I have to decide. You know what? I put on the hat. I'm taking my +1 from the hat on this one.
All right.
It's real early for it, but...
All right, Steph, what's this shit?
Inconsequential roll, I get a good score. Just wait until we have to kill something.
This is consequential.
It's
You are
very
sliding down a 150-foot drop into peril.
Yeah,
Nah,
and an
not as
8
good.
ain't very good.
Inconsequential.
Alright, so all three of you start going. Morgana had gone first, but at one point the braided steel is frayed, and as she's sliding down, her rope just catches on it flat.
Oh
no. But as you two go by, Muddle is able to help and get you unstuck again.
You're welcome.
Best archaeology team ever! Do you know how many other mercenaries would have just kicked me off? So many. So many.
It takes
Don't
a little
think
while,
anymore.
but you manage to make it all the way down.
All right, climbing back up, that's going to be fun. Let's go.
Ooh, boy. All right, you are standing near one of the recessed areas. And also there seems to be the wreckage of a platform at the end of this rope that is enclosed in a kind of almost steel cage.
I investigate.
Alright. What are you investigating? And give me a roll.
The platform, this metal structure at the bottom.
Alright.
Also, are there any signs that people have been here more recently? Like, does anything look
Definitely
freshly
not.
disturbed? Okay, good. No one's been here. Awesome. Oh, that's the whole reason I wanted to come to the hole.
Only virgin holes for Morgana.
There certainly was more in trade.
Oh my god.
An 11 on my investigation.
Alright. The steel cage is at the end of the cable, and it is rusted and creaky, but it looks like it's under a great deal of pressure. There seems to be a steel bar sticking out from a portion of the nearby structure that is caught on it. And the cage is pulling up strongly against that, but is thoroughly pinned.
Think we should fix that or no? She described everything that Chloe just described.
Sure, why not?
All right.
Yeah.
She pulls out her pickaxe. So you said that there's one piece of metal wedged in that seems to be keeping the whole thing under pressure, right?
Yeah. It seems to be the only reason this cage isn't going up.
Oh, we shouldn't do this yet. We should break this when we leave. Then we won't have to climb. It'll take us right up.
Oh, is this one of those elevators that you were talking about earlier?
It's an elevator! She gets so excited. Oh, I learn about it and get to use it in the same day. Best archaeology trip ever. All right.
Oh my god.
Still holding the pickaxe, she points towards deeper into the hole. All right, y'all. Let's go.
Alright, deeper in which way? There's towards the actual hole in the center, or towards the structures that are built into the wall on the outside?
Structures built into the wall. Those are more likely to have an artifact.
Alright. There are 3 that you saw from above. Each one is near one of the elevators down. The one that you are currently at is the one in the center of the 3. And you can see the entrance to it about 30 or 40 feet away down the wall.
Great! She starts walking, pickaxe slung over one shoulder.
Alright. As you reach the recess, you can definitely tell that it used to be a door. Probably the actual door part of it has long since decayed, but it's still stone cut in the, rough shape and size it would need to be for people to walk through it.
Is there a door knob anywhere nearby? I'll
Give me a
investigation. 13.
Yes, you actually see a portion of what used to be a doorknob sticking up out of the dirt right outside.
Ha! Souvenir! I dropped my headset.
You pick it up and immediately drop it. You have to go scrambling around, but you get it again.
Whoopsie! Butterfingers. Let's go inside.
Oh my
She
God.
slips it into her smaller backpack.
Ooh, jeez.
You invited me to a game. You knew what you were getting.
I did. Alright, so once you go inside, you immediately see something that catches your eye. You are in a fairly large stone room. It is about 30-ish feet back, and there seem to be the remains of other stone and metal structures, chairs, tables, a counter, and even 2 more rooms in the back. It is pretty ruined in here. Otherwise, though, anything organic like wood has long since decayed. There is a large hole in the area that goes down to just air. Wind is pouring up through it, making you feel a little less steady on your feet than you'd like. Next to the hole, though, is what really catches your eye. A large crystalline structure in the shape of a rose that seems to have a figure inside.
Treasure, 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 treasure. Immediately rushes to it and slips pickaxe into slot on backpack and just starts running her hands around it ooh, this is so cool, this feels so weird. She's just totally appraising it and geeking out.
Alright.
Can I get an appraisal roll? Is that
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. That doesn't do insight. I'm trying to see if there's any relevant modifier I could add to this. I mean, this could be investigation for...
It probably
or
would be investigation.
Would appraisal be a sub skill of investigation?
It absolutely would.
When you get sub skills, yeah.
Awesome.
It could also potentially go under crafting, depending on what kind of crafting you do. Like a blacksmith might get a bonus to appraising, other people's work through crafting.
Gotcha. All right, 17 on appraisal.
Okay, this large crystalline structure that you are running your hands over looks like it is absolutely priceless. It is larger than you, so you have no idea how you would move it. But it is like nothing you've ever seen before. Absolute clarity all the way down to the sleeping figure within that you can see is a succubus of some kind.
I have a picture.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Looks like that. But, asleep.
Hey, there's somebody in here. I wonder if they're still alive.
So how close is Morgana to falling out of the hole right now?
Close enough that you're keeping an eye on.
All right, great. Yeah,
Morgana's
Muddle's
paying
gonna
no attention
stare.
at all.
Muddle is ready to jump and grab if she looks like she's about to slip out the hole.
Already a better mercenary than any I could have bought.
And Muddle
my
regrets
God.
all of his decisions up to this point. I should have listened to my mother. I should have stayed home. I should have listened to Mom.
Oh my god.
You shouldn't have dealt with so many foreigners, is what you shouldn't have done.
Oh, ain't that the truth?
All right. Morgana taps the crystal like a fishbowl. You know, the way you're not supposed to.
There's a loud cracking noise.
Uh-oh. Oh, what did he do?
As you
I tapped
watch, cracks and splinters start spreading out from that point, but also basically every point that you've touched up until now.
No.
Oh god, we're gonna
First,
die.
A small shard of it flakes away and dissolves in a way that you've never seen before.
Oh,
It
Morgana
just
jumps
sort
and
of
ducks for cover.
burbles out of existence. And soon, larger and larger chunks of it are doing exactly that. It takes about 30 full seconds for the entirety of the crystalline structure to break down and dissolve in that same way.
No! She falls to her knees.
Is that my cue?
Oh yeah. You
Neat.
are waking up to the sound of someone screaming.
No! Dude, what the fuck?
What the fuck yourself? That thing you were in was priceless!
What?
You just cost me a lot of money.
Muddle's gonna
lot of
step
what?
forward now to try and save this. My name is Muddle, and bows. What's your name?
Can I, like, perception check to realize something is direly wrong with this situation?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Morgana's in tears.
Ryler's just
I'm gonna
relieved that we're
look
not dead.
confused, but not notice the giant gaping hole yet. Sati?
That's
What are
great.
you
Nice to
doing
meet
here?
you. I'm gonna need you to come forward a little bit, step away from the hole.
I'm gonna take a bite out of my cookie and look at her like she's crazy.
Look, there's a gigantic hole behind you. I'm gonna need you to move forward so that you don't fall out of the hole.
Look, I've been here, alright? Like, you're not gonna get me with that one.
I'm sorry, how long have you been here?
Like a day?
Oh, really? Muddle's gonna look at Morgana. Did you
Morgana
see her?
wipes the tear away. You've been here for much longer than a day, sweetie.
I'm just gonna look at her like she is nuts.
I looked over the thing that you were inside. That's been here for years, like decades, maybe centuries.
Yeah, I mean, look around. Everything is kind of fallen apart and decayed.
Morgana pulls out the doorknob. There wasn't a door attached to this.
I mean, that's fine, right? Like, you don't need doors.
Well, when they rot away,
Can I
over
make another
time-
roll?
Yeah, go ahead.
I squint.
A blast of wind comes up out of the hole and ruffles your feathers.
I notice that I have feathers. This freaks me out more than anything else. Alright, I look shocked and I like run across the room. Just
Away from the
just
hole, right?
dash. Yeah, no.
Great.
Obviously.
Yeah, good call.
I'm
Get away
like-
from that hole.
Grabbing at my wing, being like, the fuck is this shit? I'm like tearing feathers out.
Oh god.
What?
Oh, jeez.
Stop! She runs up, like, both hands outstretched. Listen, you cost me a lot of money, so I need you to help me get it back.
I don't know you
Not
anything.
do that. Well, that thing you came out of was worth a lot of money.
Well,
If you
I
hadn't come out of
don't know
it,
what
it'd
it
still
was.
be here for me to sell to people.
Isn't that your fault? I didn't fuck with anything.
You were the one that was inside of it. It's
So?
your thing. It was my money loss. You're gonna
If it
help
was
me.
my thing, then it wasn't your money loss. Whatever that money is.
Wait,
I
you don't know
say,
what money is?
stuffing a cookie in my mouth.
Wait, you don't
Where'd
know
that
what money
cookie
is?
even come from?
I've got another one. You can't have it though, they're mine.
Have you ever had
Please?
hardtack?
No.
You want to try hardtack? Depends on how you taste it.
Something about you makes me think you don't believe they're better than cookies. No thanks, I'm good.
They're definitely not better than cookies, that's true.
Well, nice to meet you. Where's
Oh.
my sister? Like, look around.
You have a sister?
There is nobody here. Us and one other friend of ours are the only people here in a flying city. You know the city's flying, right?
Look, I don't know if I told you this, but I just got here. So you're gonna have to get all the way off my back about all the things I don't know.
Well, now you know! See? You're learning. We all have to learn sometimes. In fact, I have to learn how to make more money and get going. So if you want to do whatever you're doing, now that you're out of that prison of yours, feel free.
Okay,
We're on a
Muddle's,
time schedule.
Muddle's gonna be like, please ignore her. What was the last thing you remember about?
I still lift a cookie. Well, I was with some people in this room, and we had made cookies.
Did you live here?
It looked significantly nicer at the time, actually.
What was that word you just said? At the what? At that time. Yes. You're not in that time anymore.
Yeah, this place has been abandoned for years.
Well, it doesn't feel like it. I mean,
Definitely
it sure
looks
does
like it.
look like it. So what are you guys doing here if it's abandoned?
We're looking for treasure.
Reluctantly.
I look at the other people.
We're hired for an expedition to come find ancient artifacts.
Yeah, ancient
So far.
artifacts.
So far, you're the only thing we found in this place.
Well, besides the prison that you were in, which was worth a lot of money.
It was her prison. She was allowed to destroy it.
Fine.
I didn't destroy anything. I just woke up.
Yeah, you waking up did it.
I would know if I destroyed something. Fucking tired of you telling me I destroyed shit.
You were in like a flowery cocoon of some kind of expensive-looking substance.
It was
It
crystalline.
couldn't be like
It was expensive.
a sword or something. Could we lie and say it was a sword? Sword
Nah, it was a
cocoon?
rose.
No, it was a pretty flower.
Definitely a pretty flower.
Yeah.
I look
Yeah.
disgusted.
Well,
So the last thing you remember was baking cookies in this
Why
room
did I
with your
bake them?
sister?
Well, yeah, she was burning them. That was pretty good too.
Uh-huh.
one sec. Expedition meeting. Give us just 1 sec.
Alright. Muddle's gonna huddle with the other two.
I'm gonna resume looking for my sister.
Okay, what do you think?
I think she's
Take her with us.
crazy.
Do we abandon her? I think we should take her with us.
We can't leave her here. She don't know what's going on. She doesn't even
Honestly.
know what year it is.
And hey, she might know the city really well. She might be able to send us to like some really expensive stuff, and then we can just say she gets to share the treasure, and it's fine.
She was tearing out her wing feathers. I don't think she knows what's going on. I think she's crazy. She was eating cookies after exploding out of a flower.
That's
mean-
true.
She's nuts. But we can't leave her here.
She also said the thing about destroying things.
Yeah, she does destroy things, but, it was
She
her.
said people keep asking her to destroy things.
Well, she doesn't have a sword, so we're good, right?
Well, no, but if she's good at destroying things, maybe we can bring her on as, like, a bodyguard.
What am I here for?
Well, you're an equal member of the expedition.
I better be.
She would get paid, like, a salary.
I'm looking in the
You
fridge,
get a
by
cut.
the way.
I'm sorry, there's a fridge?
Is there still what?
The ice thingy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna grab that, but not with my hands.
With your what, if not your hands?
Some of the debris.
Okay.
Okay, Morgana, she's crazy, but I think we can't leave her here by herself.
Agreed.
I'm just gonna like lightly wave it at myself because I'm assuming for some reason that I specifically feel hot.
All right. It is notably warmer down here than it was up there, for the record.
Neat.
Good to know. Morgana stands up and turns around, or gets out of the huddle.
I'm
What did
also
you say your
in the
name was
back
again?
room. Sati, I say, opening the rock door with some difficulty.
Sati, how would you like to be hired as a bodyguard?
What does hired mean?
We
jeez.
pay you for doing something. And that thing is making
What?
sure I don't die.
Muddle's gonna be like, well, obviously you know the structure that we're in pretty well to have, because you were here when we got here. Apparently everything was fine when you, before you went into your flower cocoon.
I mean, there's this room, there's that room, there's the fridge, and the cabinet. There used to be a door.
Yeah, the door rotted away. That was years ago.
Waves the doorknob again.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying is that was years ago. You have obviously been here for a long time.
Is there anything in like the people's living quarters? Because that's where I am now.
You're like yelling at us from different rooms.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
that's exactly what's happening.
I'm happy with this, and
I am like,
Morgana's not even
there's
bothering
puffs
you.
of dust coming out from the rooms I'm in, but that's about it.
Anything organic has long since rotted away.
Okay. I know that Greta outfitted people with a bunch of relics. Are those still around?
Which relics in particular are you asking about?
Well, the pillows used to have those hand-warming ones.
Oh,
They're, used to be the, like, candlelight thing and the ever-burning log. All of the temperature regulation in the world, basically.
oh yeah, I totally forgot about all of those things and...
All of the cooking relics, also.
Huh. Okay, give me a second to catalog this.
it's probably a good thing that Morgana hasn't gone into the back rooms yet.
Because I'm just collecting these as I go, because they don't look broken.
Yeah.
How about this, Sati? If you help us, I'll make sure you can have as many cookies as you want.
I'm gonna
Can I
poke
make
my
it
head back out.
As in the background, she's just collecting relics.
Speaking of collecting relics, has anything happened while I'm basically going through the palace?
Oh yeah, we'll pick up with you before they leave this room.
Split the party!
Oh my god. Oh, hold on.
So, the hand-warming relic is still there. God, what cooking relics were present? I remember the...
There's the bowl, the spatula, the thermos. There's one other. I'm trying to remember what it was.
What I missed.
The fork.
Alright. The hand-warming relic is still there. The fire log relic is still there. And the spatula relic is still there.
Alright. I'm not gonna pick up the log. I'm gonna tell them they can have that.
Huh? And
Care to
Morgana
describe what it does?
runs into
Yeah.
the back room when hearing you can have that.
Yeah, I just pointed a log. Is it still on fire from before? Or did somebody put it out first?
Somebody probably put it out.
I like the probably.
Well, it's just
that's-
a log in the middle of all of this.
That's... Every other wood thing is gone. How is that?
Oh, it's their fancy thing. It's the somebody told me it was cool. Whatever. I'm not carrying it. You can have it. I say,
praise it.
waving the spatula at him.
Alright, give me one of those sweet appraisal rolls.
Investigation! 13.
Alright.
And this is, again, she's touching every single surface of this.
Yeah. It looks like a normal log from like a couple steps away, but when you get close, you can tell that it actually has a really intricate and ornate pattern, just like textured onto it.
As she makes this realization going over it, there's the increasing volume gasp of treasure, 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 we found something. Sati, you're amazing.
Yeah, I am. About time you noticed, I say, walking out.
Morgana takes one of the 3 lengths of rope that we had. Wait, the one that I used is like unusable now, right?
One of the ones that you have has been significantly shortened because you cut bits of it off to help ease getting down here. It's not unusable, though. It's just you have probably 3 5-foot lengths and 1 15-foot length left of that one.
3 5 feet. You said 3 5 feet and
1
10
15.
foot? Oh, 1 15. Thank you. I don't know where my math is going. All right. I take one of the 5-foot lengths and I secure the log to my backpack. Do you need to know exactly where it's tied, or does that suffice?
That suffices.
Okay.
You found a log. Great.
I found a very special log.
Okay.
All y'all, give me a perception check.
Oh boy.
Does that include me?
Yes. Well, no.
Oh, fun.
Oh boy.
fun.
So I probably noticed.
One sec.
Alright. Everyone
Damn it.
else is...
What?
Well, D20 plus exclamation. Oh my god.
Oh boy.
3,
great for us.
2, 1. That's pretty amazing. Okay, well, all of you are too shocked to notice anything right now. But at some point, Sati sticks her head out to like look into the main room and looks behind all of you all and like to the outdoor segment and sees a very large creature of some kind walk past the door.
Is that normal?
This is a really fucking cool log, guys.
And Muddle's just like, I'm sorry, Sati, are
I'm
you...
just gonna really casually walk in and just like wave my one remaining cookie at the giant monster outside and be like, "You guys bring that?"
I'm sorry,
what?
are you carrying a spatula? Where'd you even find that?
Wait.
I'm using it to point at the monster.
I'm sorry, you said monster? What? And the Muddle's gonna look behind him.
You quick scurry.
What? Monster? Where?
I mean, that's yours,
Bring a
right?
monster? No, we didn't bring a monster with us.
Oh.
You didn't bring your stripper with you.
Oh my god.
That seems dangerous, I say. Stepping back into the building.
It hasn't actually noticed you all. It's still about 15 feet away from the door and has walked horizontally past it.
What does it look like?
It looks like something between a tiger and a wolf. More tiger-sized than wolf-sized, though.
Oh.
Also, now we're going to pick up with, Lynn. So, Lynn, what you doing? You ran off from the main group out of nowhere into the dark and the cold.
Yeah. She's headed for where the palace should be.
All right. As you get closer to the upper district, you notice more and more structures are still present because more and more of them are made out of stone rather than, like, wood.
Mm-hmm.
As you get closer to the palace, you notice that there's only a couple that haven't fallen down at all. Yet you recognize one of them as a building on the Dior's family property. And the other one is a building in the palace, or inside the palace walls. Upon reaching that one, because I assume you don't detour, correct?
Do you think Andrea teaches detouring?
No, probably not. Okay, palace walls. Upon getting inside, you can tell that all of the windows have long been busted out, and there's some broken glass that remains around there, but that's about it. Any doors that used to be made out of wood have long since decayed. The inside has only stone tables and chairs that remain. As you get deeper in, though, some of it is less so. Or basically, the areas that, the wind and the snow and stuff don't actually reach, because there's several layers of stone in, start being a little bit more populated by things. There's, extremely tattered cloth and so
Less
on.
fucked.
Is there anywhere in particular you're going?
Initially to the throne room, if possible.
Okay. The throne room proper still exists. It did have windows, and so everything inside of it that was even remotely organic is gone. The throne itself still exists, but it's not that ornate, if that's what you're looking for.
No.
There are a couple of rooms off of this that seem to have survived as well, if you're continuing down there.
Yep.
Alright.
Basically, initially, the initial targets she's looking for would be, one, whether or not they're in the throne room or any adjacent rooms, if there's a reasonably intact, I think the technical term for them is bunting, but the hanging tapestry-like things that are generally a great big banner with the royal regalia on them in most throne rooms, or in centers of almost all castles.
Alright.
One initial target is to find ideally two of those, one large, one smaller. And then after that, to try to find basically the castle guard barracks armory area.
Alright. Notably, there are places around where there are just...
Your volume just went to nothing.
Oh, really?
Briefly, yeah.
Is it back now?
Yes.
Okay, good. There are places around where you see piles of extremely rusted armor, occasionally with a weapon. But as you progress through the throne room and the adjacent areas, you find one that is relatively closed off from outside that seemed to be a small library. Most of the books are, like, dissolving off of the shelves, but there might be more if you look. If you're not interested in that, though...
She would be. She'd be looking at the way that she was reared and taught. She'd be looking to try to find basically the essentially official history, if you will.
Yeah,
And to try to preserve any of that that's preservable.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll, then.
No worries. That was 19.
Okay. You find a couple of books that are reasonably intact. The first one that you open up, that still has, like, a functional cover and everything, is absolutely ruined on the inside. All of the pages are stuck together and, just generally unreadable. But as you keep looking, you do actually find one that is kind of thin for its subject matter. It's a brief history of Zenith, complete with a map. But it's clearly not written as, like, an adult book. It's very brief.
Still worth taking, because it is the children who need to learn to preserve a legacy.
All right.
What she thinks she's gotten everything she can quickly get the salvage from the library and bundle up in the tapestry. She's trying to search the other official areas of the castle to find the whistles, because it's important that the whistles don't fall into the wrong hands.
All right. As you continue searching, you come across a room that is further into the palace than you've been before, because it's not really a public area.
No, it's not the place that you take trainee guards.
Yeah. Inside one of the rooms is preserved what appears to be a statue of a Fey woman that is covered in kind of thick chains. It gives off an extremely ominous feeling the moment you enter the same room.
How large is this statue?
It seems to be life-size, so it's about 3 feet tall.
Is this at all familiar to...
No, you've definitely never seen it before.
Never seen anyone who looks familiar to her? If it looks similar to her?
Not even a little.
And it gives off a massive, ominous aura.
Yeah, it's really uncomfortable to even look at it. And if you, approach it further than just getting in the same room, you definitely get every instinct in you telling you to leave now.
Okay. Is there anything else in the room?
Not really. There seem to be some ruined, stone benches, but that's it.
She's going to try to actually lift up the stone benches to make a sort of field siege works bulwark, as a barrier between the statue and the door, and make a note on finding the others to come back and investigate this with backup.
All right.
And then going to continue looking for the whistles.
Okay.
After all, the whistles are the basis of most of the system of law she knows.
Yeah.
You can't just have some random archaeologist pick up a white whistle.
You actually don't seem to find any of them.
No whistles.
Even when you find piles of armor, when you check inside, they never have one.
Okay. On the way to the castle, there would have been at least one of those fountains that have the never-ending water relic. Was it still running?
That is a good place to check. Alright, so there is a place where there's a relic where that all of the city's water comes from. Being that you are from Zenith, you know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to that spot, it is absolutely still there. It seems to be it's a statue of actually probably a Fey woman. Not the same one from before, though. Holding a large jug and pouring water out of it in large quantities. It is still running.
Okay.
It is much larger than the other statue because it's bigger than life size.
Yep.
But it is definitely still there and definitely still running.
Is the statue the relic or is the jug the relic?
They seem to be one device.
Okay. Just gonna open that book that's got the children's map of Zenith.
All right.
Make another note. Bring the other people here.
Beautiful.
As someone in training under Andrea, would Lynn have a whistle? If she did, does she still have a whistle?
If she did, she definitely doesn't have it anymore.
Okay.
Actually, no. No, she probably would still have it. It's definitely a red one, though.
Oh, definitely. She does not rate more than that. She'd barely rate that. She'd have gotten a red whistle from Andrea arranging a class trip to the first level.
Yeah. Alright, you've still got one.
Okay. And I guess then from here probably so she's gotten what she thinks she's going to be able to get out of her goals. Now it's time to actually find things to convince the archaeology team that she's not been completely wasting her time, which would mean time to head to the marketplace and see what, if any, since it's a place where relics would regularly be bought, sold, and traded, what's left.
All right. Are you heading to the upper district markets or the lower district markets?
Upper district markets.
All right. When you arrive at what used to be the market square with Sabina's place, Maldwin's place, and Bronwyn's place. Those buildings have already been crushed in pretty bad. As in, they were made of stone, but they have collapsed in on themselves. There's nothing immediately apparent from the outside, but, I mean, there are large piles of stone rubble.
Would simply from patrolling that area of town, would it be reasonable to say she's seen enough business being taken place in these areas to have a reasonable knowledge where under the wreckage somebody's strongbox or equivalent might be?
She'd probably know enough to think that digging in the area further away from the street where Sabina's place used to be would be a good idea, but not anything specific, like
not anything
box.
Precise. No. Meh. She'll start doing that.
Right.
I'm assuming moving rubble is something noisy enough that if people come into the upper district, they'll probably hear her.
Yeah. Alright, give me a roll for your search.
Do I get to take knowledge on this, given that it's a place she's spent time, even if not the back of Sabina's shop?
Sure.
Whee! Oh wow, I'm glad I got that bonus. 11 with a +6 to make it to 11.
Oh, jeez. Alright. Okay, so you dig around in the rubble for a bit. A lot of what you're finding is like, well, clearly just masonry. But after digging for a while, you do find a couple of scraps of very colorful cloth that seems to have survived. And you immediately recognize that as a pretty common relic. You find, let's say, 2 of those and 1 piece of glass that you also recognize as a common relic. All it does is be about palm-sized and near unbreakable, but it's there. And that's it.
Nifty. What do the bright cloth relics do?
They don't degrade. It's also very difficult to, cut or tear them.
Since she recognizes them as relics and has no reason to know that other people here won't recognize them as relics, she's happy with herself.
Alright. Notably, around the time you get done digging, there is a large cracking sound from the area where the abyss is.
Oh dear. She goes to try to bolt towards that sound. I mean, she's got a whistle on. You hear bad sounds from the abyss, you go.
It sounds an awful lot like someone shattered every piece of glass in a cathedral. Over the course of about 30 seconds.
That's not good.
Yeah. So, you get to the wall and look down, and you can tell that your comrades have made their way down. down the east gate. And at the bottom, you can't see anything going on right now, but you can definitely tell that there's a bit of movement in the forest. Also, you are shocked to note that the area at the bottom of the gondolas looks pretty much untouched. The grass is still green, the trees are still blooming. You know, it looks like it always has.
Huh. That's
Sakura trees.
Minus
really
the large
weird.
hole in the center.
That's really weird. Given it was in the upper district, so wouldn't that mean I'd be nearest the north gate?
Right now, yeah.
Okay. What is the north gate gondola, up or down?
The North Gate gondola is down. You can see it at the bottom. It is completely shattered. Just totally wrecked.
Lynn is distinctly confused because she actually has no idea how to get up or down there without the gondolas, and she's pretty sure that trick with the tuck and roll and shield spell in midair is not going to work on that picking her up.
Give me a perception check.
4.
Yikes. Okay. Sure is a long way down.
So, if just to try to guess, what would be the estimated difficulty of trying to climb down the cable, not trying to zip line, particularly given that she's, covered in magical sticky grippy?
Oh, you could probably do it.
Yeah, she heard the oath for the whistle doesn't say anything about the gondolas being intact. You've got the whistle, bad noises from the abyss, you go. She tries to climb.
Alright, give me a roll for that one.
Luckily, I put a point in athletics. 4.
Okay.
I got some bad news for you, Chief.
Do I have time to try to resist the gravity with the shield spell?
Okay.
Or actually, do I have time to try to fire the magical weapon of gooey sticky to re-grab the cable that I've clearly fucked up my grip on?
It's not that bad. Yet.
Okay.
You are climbing down it. It's pretty easy because you have basically the right tools for it, but it is really slow going. The time it takes you to get down is much longer than you estimated. You keep hitting these patches of really frayed steel that have, sharp wire consistency. And so, in order to not shred your hands, you're having to take it super slow and careful.
Mm-hmm.
It is about 3/4 of the way down that you notice that there is a stalker at the bottom of the cable, just kind of waiting for you to finish coming down.
Oh, dear.
Well, I have a projectile weapon. Can I just anchor myself with one arm, use the other to first blow my whistle hard, and then just sort of take aim and keep firing until I don't have a stalker problem anymore?
All right. Going back to the Morgana group. You at this point, poke your head out to see, where that monster is going. And see it immediately run straight over to the North Gate gondola because it sees something tasty coming down.
Do we see something tasty coming down?
It is around the time that she blows her whistle that you notice that's where it's going, because up until that point you're basically staring at, a giant monster.
Yeah.
But when she starts blowing her whistle, you're like, oh shit, she's there.
I knew she'd come back to us.
She seems to be shooting like palm-sized bullets of what her clothing is made of at it.
Gobbets of black goo.
Do you think she might need some help?
Yeah, we should probably help.
Yeah, probably a good idea.
Morgana gets her whip out.
Gonna be a large cat tamer.
Where's
Hey,
my
he's got the
stool?
hat.
You said there were chairs in this room, right?
Oh my god. Give me a roll.
Well, investigation.
Yep.
17.
Alright. You grab
Metal
a stool
stool.
from inside. It's made of stone, so it is quite heavy.
Stone stool.
I guess metal. It would be made of metal. Still.
It's music.
It's still heavy, but
Yeah.
usable.
Yeah.
Music
It's-
with rocks in.
So you have a steel stool.
All right. We got a steel stool in one hand and a whip in the other. I didn't take the dual wielding. Wait 1 second. Let me look and see my skills again. Make sure that I have any ability to dual wield right now.
Oh, you can absolutely do that just by virtue of, anyone can hold a weapon in two hands.
Oh, okay. Because I put my point into specializing in my whip rather than getting the versatility. Because versatility doesn't matter until I have at least 2 specialist tools.
Only a total idiot would make it so dual wielding was some kind of hidden passive skill that only one very special player gets. Anyway, I'm not shitting on Sword Art Online.
Oh my god.
So,
I mean, given the nature of... Sorry, I could go on at length about what's actually involved in real dual wielding, but we don't need to do that.
no worries. Anyone can hold 2 weapons, that's the point.
I've got a whip and a stool. All right, team. We're going to go save her.
All right, Muddle is going to draw his sword.
At the cat from inside the stone structure.
You do what
What are
now?
you throwing?
I'm sorry, that's a bad idea.
I'm just throwing I'm trying to beat it on the head with a rock.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
She's trying to beat it on the head with a rock. I'm trying to shoot it, and it's being charged. I think this stalker's having a bad day.
Well, I was thinking we could hang out inside the stone structure. That'll make it a lot harder for it. It's big.
Is it bigger than the doorway?
Probably
It was
not.
described as a monster, so...
It could probably fit in the doorway, though it would be a bit of a squeeze.
I tried to beat it on the head with a rock.
Good idea.
Alright.
Defensible position.
Give me your roll.
Alright. I'm assuming this doesn't count as unarmed, so... Just a straight D20. 12.
The rock clatters next to the
I'm already picking up another rock.
Alright. Kite, also give me a roll.
Okay. Eight.
Alright. You both are missing, but, well, it is having to, dodge. It doesn't want to be hit by projectiles. It definitely doesn't see the rock, but it's dodging the balls of nasty.
I'm gonna yell at it as I throw my next rock. Hey!
Yeah, hey!
That gets its attention quickly.
I throw the rock at it.
Alright, give me a
I
roll.
hold the stool up like a shield.
You still miss.
Yeah, that's fine.
It sees all of
I
you,
am not
though.
discouraged by this at all. I'm looking for another rock.
It sees all of you, though, and starts charging in your direction. It's still about 100 feet away.
Oh boy.
Shit. We should have moved a table in front of the door. Too
Maybe
late
we
now.
should get some rocks.
Lion tamer type stool. The way they hold
stupid.
it is how I'm holding it.
Whatever the hell you're supposed to be, I throw another rock.
Wait a second, why am I on the front line? I'm the expedition leader.
Oh my god. That one hits it in the face. Roll a d4.
Maximum rock!
Best rock ever.
I look more accomplished than anyone with a giant tiger beast charging them should.
It
I'm very self-satisfied right now.
it looks incredibly offended. But it does slow its charge slightly, after getting hit in the face.
So if it's charged away from me, does that mean I can start continuing my climb down?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I'm
Give
gonna
me
do that.
one last roll to see how quickly you can make it to the bottom from here.
$10.
Okay, you actually managed to go pretty quick. By the time it's reaching them, you've hit the ground level.
Excellent.
So you are now about 100 feet away.
Okay.
As for the rest of y'all, and actually, as for all of y'all, give me an initiative roll.
Hooray!
Oh,
That's
boy.
I have one
D20
more
plus
question before the
dexterity.
initiative.
Plus reaction speed, I think.
Gotcha.
Alright, what's that?
I have no reaction.
You mentioned the gondola is all shattered and stuff. Does that mean that there are long pieces of long narrow pieces of metal with jagged edges?
There absolutely are.
How much flexibility does my shape-shifting arm crossbow have?
What exactly are you asking?
Take jagged pole, mount, charge, ram, fire to use like a pile driver impale type thing.
So you're trying to use your ability to shoot a large chunk of metal, or
No, to just basically to add additional impetus to a stab with large chunk of metal.
oh, okay. It probably won't make a difference.
Fair enough. I just think one of those things that, given how much seems to run on Rule of Cool, it would be worth asking.
It would look awesome.
You'd also
And
give
yeah.
the thing tetanus.
True. And Andrea, and spell aspects of righteous, purpose, heroes, chivalry, glory. I don't
Yeah.
think she's actually got an option to not do this.
All right.
Anyway, her initiative is 12. Oh no, her initiative is 5.
All right. So,
I have number 1 initiative, maybe?
yeah, you rolled the 20.
Yeah, unless the cat tied me.
How many 20s have you already rolled in this game?
Who?
Yeah.
1?
Really?
Someone else
Okay.
wrote a couple 20s. There have already been a couple 20s now.
Steph.
Yeah, I did it twice.
Real 20, alright?
Until now.
Saving them for now. That's what that is.
Yeah, Totally. Yep.
The serene coming through. Is all I'm saying.
I wish. I think she hates me.
Are you serene pious?
I run a off the top of my head game while we are working sometimes. She's a coworker.
Oh.
Yeah, we test her
And-
improv skills.
Yeah. And she has been flirting with being serene pious.
And consistently being torn down bit by bit.
She almost exclusively rolls threes. It's amazing.
That's great.
For some.
Alright, so
Initiative
Sati gets to go first.
Alright. So I run in, and as it's getting here, I start biting it.
Biting it.
What?
Yeah, I'm using my unarmed, my 1-2 punch with bites.
Oh, jeez.
So I bite it twice, actually.
Alright, let me finish getting down initiative. And then...
While Chloe's doing that, it reminds me of an anime about it's an isekai about a guy who's a pro wrestler, and he makes friends with a princess who's like a dragon, and she does that to people. That's what my mental image is right now.
Yeah, well, when I go in for the bite, you guys definitely see that I've got unexpectedly vicious looking teeth.
Leans over to other people in the room. We definitely need to get her in the expedition team.
So does
I hope
19
she
hit?
knows how to sign her name.
Yeah, the 19 hits.
Cool. I deal 7 damage. Oh wait, no. It should be 8. Because the total should be a +3. It's 2 hits.
Alright, you do 8 damage. It looks confused and offended.
You seem to be doing a great job of confusing and offending it.
And immediately backs away a bit.
For the record, my arms are still full of the things I was carrying. They make it easiest for me to just bite it.
Yeah. Of course. Alright, Morgana's turn.
Morgana's apparently, since we're not using the place as a defensible position, Morgana walks
Well, I
out
just assumed it'd run up.
and whips the thing.
Alright.
I'm gonna whip it, and I'm gonna whip it good. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's on hit. Gotcha. So I need to roll. This is... Oh, I don't have a point in combat,
That's fine.
but I get the +1 from... Do I get the +1 to hit from specialist tools? Or no?
Probably not, no. Unless
Okay,
it
so then it's just a
explicitly
base roll.
says so.
Gotcha. Choose these weapons count as specialist tools, specialist count as the same weapon type for... Oh, they count as the same weapon type for counting for techniques and other bonuses. And I have 1 point in unarmed technique.
Alright, well then you have a +1.
Okay. $15 to hit with the whip.
Alright. You hit.
It is grappled unless it does a DC 11 dex check. Dex save. There we go.
It's fine.
Gotcha. Then in that case, I also actually no, I want to stay medium range. I hold my stool out defensively.
Alright. Give me a roll for the whip damage.
Oh yeah. How can I forget damage? And does the damage also get a +1 similarly, or would it just be to
No.
hit that gets the damage bonus?
Actually, yeah, it does.
4 damage.
Alright, it takes 4 damage.
Whoopsh.
And it It's gotten as far away from Sati as it could, so it charges you.
I have a stool held out defensively.
Against your outstretched stool. Alright. No, it definitely misses you. That was disadvantage
Oh.
from
Hooray.
the stool.
Hooray!
It, slams against the stool. You slide a couple feet back, but ultimately remain standing, and it doesn't get close enough to you.
Bad kitty!
Eileen, your turn.
How far am I from it?
You are still about 15 feet from it. You could run up and try to hit it, or use any skills you have. I'm not sure if you have any.
I have one, but I don't know if I want to use it yet.
Alright.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull out my utility knife, run up to it, try and stab it, preferably in the face.
Is that a called shot?
Right? Alright. Give me a d20 roll. You hit.
Awesome.
Square in the shoulder. Roll damage.
3 damage.
Alright. It takes 3 damage and has a knife wound.
In the face.
In the shoulder, Gina.
Yeah, I know. It just would have been better if it was in the face.
Oh, you have a preference where it lands.
Knife wounds are often better in the face, yes. As long as you're not the recipient. Alright.
Yeah.
Muddle's turn.
All right, great. Let's see how bad I do.
Go Mud. Go Mud.
Don't think too highly of me. Muddle is gonna take his two-handed sword and just go for the closest fleshy bit of the monster he can.
Alright.
Yeah, the fleshy bits. And can I add anything to it specifically, like combat or anything?
If you have any points in the skill under combat, yes, add that.
Great. This might help, but probably not, so...
10. Unfortunately, you miss.
How did I know?
Alright. Lynn's turn.
Well, we have already established what Lynn was doing. In the name of the sun, the lightning, the righteous, the purpose of heroes' glory, she is shoving a long metal spike up the orifice of her crossbow and charged while screaming. I don't know that she can actually cover the whole distance in one round, though.
I don't know how I feel about your use of orifice.
Give me a d20.
17!
Okay. Just a sec.
Chloe, wondering what she's gotten herself into by running this game.
Okay. So a lot of coincidences have overlapped for this to happen, just so you know.
Did I just wild magic myself?
More so than that. Okay,
Uh-oh.
so you run and stick this thing with your large chunk of metal.
Well, if I've actually stuck it, then as soon as it's in, it's fire the bow to jam it in harder.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right through that orifice.
Give me a 1d8 damage roll plus any other ones that you have.
No, so then does the skill mod and magical weapon count?
Yes.
Okay, so is that just the 1 in magical weapon or the 2 from imagination as well?
The 2 from imagination... No, it would be the 1 from just magical weapon.
9.
Okay. The thing takes 9 damage and gets pierced through its side, down through its flank, and into the ground. And then, the moment you have cleared the monster, a bolt of lightning hits the stuck-up piece of metal, knocking all of you about 10 feet away from it, if you were closer than that. It is ear-shattering, blinding, and out of nowhere. And that thing's smoking corpse is all that is left.
Lynn hefts her bow-clad arm to the sky's Kevin's and shouts, "Righteous glory!"
I look at the people I'm standing next to and ask, "She with you?" I'm spitting out chunks of cat.
She's spitting out chunks of cat, and she's holding relics. Would Lynn be able to recognize her as a fellow Xenothite?
Almost... well,
Clothing?
There are almost certainly rumors of my existence.
She disappeared before you. I'm trying to figure out if she disappeared before, you were present in Zenith at all.
Fair.
Because this would be they're from different Zeniths as well.
Yeah.
To make things extra complicated.
No, you wouldn't know about Sati. You would recognize most of the relics she's holding.
Yep. So, would then have reason to believe she's from Zenith? My mouth is not working properly. That Sati is from Zenith.
Probably, considering she wasn't with you all when you got here.
True.
And she doesn't look like... I mean, she looks kind of like a succubus, but also definitely not.
Lynn just sort of, on seeing Sati, Lynn just sort of starts shaking, her eyes widening, and then she just starts, she shouts again, "Praise glory! I'm not alone in stupid land!"
Oh my god.
I'm still waiting for a response. Nobody
Muddle's
has
offended.
told me.
What did you say again?
Is she
Praise
with
glory!
you?
I'm not alone in stupid land.
Yeah! See, I told you she'd come back! Where'd you go?
The palace.
Oh, wait a second. I was in melee range. I'd be way too shell-shocked to have answered just now. I'm still on the ground.
Yeah, your ears are ringing, and...
I'm gonna look if I can see where that lightning came from.
Does the lightning have arced to the metal chair I was holding?
No, you're good. It hit specifically the creature. You're totally fine.
What god would I be thanking, Chloe?
None. In fact,
None?
the idea of gods is foreign to you.
Great! Thank me for my smart moves to not die.
Beautiful. All right.
I get up eventually. Whenever you could say I'm okay enough to get up.
All right. Yeah, it doesn't take you long. Your vision is still coming back, and you've got that loud whee in your ears. But yeah, you're coming too.
Best archaeology team ever! Whew. Yeah, she's with us.
Oh. Cool. That's good. I say, looking a little bit relieved given, like, the fact that I just saw her, like, flash by a cat.
I didn't know you could call lightning bolts.
Sometimes the ways of righteous chivalry must be cloaked in shadow.
What?
He actually just takes his tube, gets out his hand-drawn map, and actually writes on it. Sometimes the ways of righteous chivalry must be cloaked in shadow.
Where on the map did you write that?
Just huge font.
That was my map.
Then she gets out and shows him the better map, the one in bright primary colors.
Where'd you get that?
The palace. Why are you making me say all these things multiple times?
Sorry, could you speak up just a little bit?
She writes
It's
it
a
on
really
his map.
loud noise. Can anybody else hear that?
You just
She
hear Muddle
just writes
go,
the palace on his map again.
said
the
what?
Palace.
Oh my god.
guys, what's
Death
going on?
Line.
All right, team. We gotta get moving. Whew. Sati,
Yeah.
is there anywhere else here that you would think would be worth checking out, or should we get out of here? We only had 5 hours to do this.
To do what?
Well, in a little bit, the entire city's going to fly past the mountain that we used to get up on here, and if that happens, then we don't have a way to get off this city. If we don't have a way to get off the city, then we're kind of screwed because we have no clue when it's going to come past another mountain, and we're going to freeze because it's moving north. Did I tell you guys that?
No.
Oh! Yeah, we gotta go! Oh, what? How long has it been, Chloe?
You are at about 3 out of your 5 hours in.
Ooh, fuck! Yeah, we gotta get moving. I don't want to be in this ring for another hour, because then we gotta get out. So, Sati, if you know any place that we should, check right now, say so. Otherwise, we gotta get the fuck out.
Lynn just sort of points into the forest. We should get some eternal fortunes on the way out. Your hardtack tastes like ass. And I don't mean that in the good donkey way. I mean that in the buttock of a merchant way.
We should get some who's it what nows?
Eternal fortunes, they grow in there. They're on every fucking tree.
Oh. Well, let's go! Are they worth something? Is he gonna give me an eternal fortune?
Oh god.
They're
Little-
food.
Oh, that's good enough.
Yeah, Muddle's just gonna
Which
head
is-
over to the forest.
Yeah, Lynn is just sort of dragging.
I'm gonna peek in
Morgan-
at the other buildings down here.
Lynn is just sort of
Make
going
sure my
to
sister's not there.
drag Morgana along and say, "Yeah, they're food. They're tasty, and witches just love them for some reason. I don't know. I'm not a witch. I don't
Oh.
pretend to understand witches."
Gotcha! And Morgana's doing one of the picking at her ear with a pinky things that you see in anime all the time. Oh, I see! I really can't hear him all that well, but I don't want to make him repeat himself again.
Her.
Herself, sorry, her. My bad.
Alright, so Sati goes and checks the other 2 restaurants. It is immediately clear through looking in that they have mostly just fallen away, unlike the other one. Where the other one had a small-ish hole, the others are almost entirely a hole that just drops out.
Alright. I look frustrated, but then I go back to, roughly where people were.
Alright.
My tail is flicking around like a cat when a cat is annoyed.
As for the rest of you, As you walk into the forest, you can tell that there's actually still, like, animals around. You see a couple lizards, you see a couple birds, living as if it were not a frozen wasteland everywhere, but this small patch of land. The flowers that Lynn is searching for are pretty easy to find.
Do they look pretty?
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so pretty!
Oh my god.
So do you eat the flower? Is that...
No, you cook the flower.
Why would you cook a flower?
So it makes you stronger. Does that not happen in Stupid World?
Well, flowers usually just smell good. I mean, they're nice, but you don't generally eat fruit. Wait, what? What do you mean in Crazy World? Where are you from?
Here. I'm from here. Now, if it's going to be frozen here, let's get the flowers and go back to Stupid World for now.
Wait a second, you're from here? How? She is completely checked out of the time-sensitive part of this and is way too interested in you now.
Sorry, one moment.
Everybody enjoying Morgana's wonderful expedition?
Oh, absolutely. Oh yeah,
And
the
while they're
island's going
talking-
north. Didn't I tell you? No? Oh.
So,
Muddle is just gonna get all the flowers that he can and be like, "Are these what you're talking about?"
yes. Those
Great.
are the flowers. Now, we go. The gondola over there is intact. We can just pull the lever and go up.
Yes! Oh, I've wanted to hit that piece of metal for a while now.
Don't hit it. You
What
don't
do you
need
mean,
to
don't hit it? How else are you gonna get a wedged piece of metal out of there?
carefully.
Fine.
All right. You all pile onto the gondola?
Oh, yeah.
All right. It is, as Morgana was saying, only being held down by a piece of wedged metal.
I pull out my pickaxe.
Seeing the tension on it, Lynn basically gets down on her knees in the bottom of the gondola and braces herself, holding onto the bars of the cage really tightly.
All right.
Go for it, leader. You do
Everybody
you.
ready? Everybody ready? All right, okay. Oh my God. Swings. Not gently.
All right. Give me a, I guess, power roll.
Power. I don't have any power. I have athletics.
You
Ten.
don't have any power.
Flat 10.
All right. You hit it with a large ring that is kind of deafening from inside the cage. You are seriously worried about developing tinnitus.
What?
The bar bends, but not all the way on the first one. Do you...
All right,
All
take
right.
two.
Muddle's got power. How about you hand him the pickaxe?
But this is my pickaxe.
Okay, Muddle's gonna take the pickaxe.
It's very nice. You can see that the haft has been carved to have the name Morgana.
Oh, God.
That was the weakest swing I've ever seen. Just give me the pickaxe.
Don't break it, okay? It's the only one I have.
Okay. And with my +1 power, we'll see how this goes. Oh,
All right.
12!
You hit it, and it instantly breaks.
Hey!
Morgana holds onto her hat.
You all shake a little bit as the gondola shoots up about 10 feet very quickly and then starts rising slowly.
My wings flap.
Hey, wait a second. What about that frayed part of the cable?
It makes a terrible noise.
It does make a terrible noise. And the gondola shakes a little bit, and y'all get real scared for about 5 seconds. But otherwise, you're good.
All right, team.
When we get to the top, I look around and I'm like, wow, this place really isn't what it's cracked up to be.
Lynn looks just the most offended.
Oh, God.
What's that look for? I was told this was a great city. It's kind of like a dump to me.
Lynn says nothing because it does indeed look like a dump. It's what happened.
This is the part where I announced that Sati has never been into the city. She only made
After a moment, Lynn says, "This is clearly the fault of Stupid World. It was a wonderful city. It's Stupid World's fault."
Alright. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Morgana gathers up her large backpack and puts her small backpack back into it.
Oh my God.
Don't worry, there's gonna be a larger backpack when I get the relevant skill. Like, I'm not picking up everything right now. Don't worry, I will.
So, is Morgana going to notice the collection of books that Lynn has strapped to her back, bundled up in a large tapestry?
You found treasure, you're the best! What'd you find? Wait a second, no, we don't have time. Show me when we get out.
Better plan, yes.
All right.
What time are we at? Or estimate. Can I estimate how much time we have left?
You have about an hour and 45 minutes, maybe as much as 2.
All right. So, team, let's make our way to the eastern gate. That was the exit, right? Let's make our way to the eastern gate, and anything we find along the way, we'll pick up, and we hop off at the gate. We're all good to go. Great expedition, guys!
Muddle is gonna just give him back the pickaxe and head away.
Thanks, Muddle. Good job with the elevator there. Oh yeah. Oh, we finally rode an elevator. Oh, that was so cool. She's
then
a little
Muddle-
manic right now.
Lynn just
Muddle
turns to
whispers.
Spotty. You see what I mean about Stupid World?
Foreigners.
I think I'm catching on.
Yeah.
Morgana is a beaming smile as she leads the charge to the eastern gate.
Oh my God.
So, like, where are we going?
We're leaving.
That's not an answer.
Well, it's
Am I starting to get a little cold? You know, given that I wasn't wearing warm clothing.
You are definitely significantly cold now that you have, ascended off of the first layer area.
Oh, Morgana
It
removes
is
one of her 3
freezing.
layers.
Cool.
Here.
I'm gonna look for things to throw on my body also.
All right. Give me an investigation
sec.
roll.
Lynn is while the changing of clothing, Lynn is moved by valor to say something. So, if there were a large statue wrapped in chains from which a malevolent entity that might be a danger to all life were
Okay, what?
contained and trying to get out.
I'm
Would
sorry,
that
could
be
you
the
repeat
change
basically
about?
all of that? Our
Oh.
connection went out super bad for a sec.
Oh, so Lynn is moved by Valor to say something while the all the clothes changing is happening. So, if hypothetically there were a statue wrapped in chains exuding a malevolent aura of the sort one might associate with an entity that, if released, might be a threat to all life, would that change the plan?
Yeah, that would. What? Oh, sorry, no, you weren't talking to me. My bad.
No. That was
She
saying
was.
it to the party. She was.
Oh, that was to the party. Sorry, I thought you were
Yes.
specific.
That was out loud. That was out
I
loud.
see. Then yeah, Morgana stops in her tracks. Yeah, that might change things. What?
Yeah. Palace basement. Not a nice place. I set up a tripping hazard to give us like a couple extra seconds if it breaks out, but I don't think that's going to give us very much.
If it breaks out?
Of the statue, the malevolent entity that feels like it might threaten all life.
Why? I mean, A, how do you know that that's here? And B,
I
Why
found
would
it.
it wake
And,
why would it wake up now?
well, Sadi woke up now.
That's
Hey.
Saudi, do you have something to do with this?
Do as
I
what?
was just saying that now might be the time that stuff here is being woken up by the general invasion of Stupid World.
Well, I don't think I have the means to deal with something that could destroy the whole world right now.
I don't know. I don't know that it's that. Oh, sorry, love. I don't know that it's that bad, but it. I mean,
Well, how long?
It's
How
the
long is it
sort
going
of
to
thing
take to
one
get
gets out.
this?
how fast can you run?
Well,
I mean, I can do it in about 10 minutes.
should we be running towards it or away from it?
You're the one who said you're the leader of this expedition.
Where's your sense of adventure?
Friggin' Stupid World. Stupid World can't even make decisions.
You know what? You're right. We're going. There's got to be treasure with that kind of statue.
Y'all want to think
gonna-
a little more? You said a malevolent entity
I'm gonna look over
Yeah.
at Puddle.
encased in a statue,
Yes.
What's
and
treasure
it's
wrapped in
about to
chains.
break. And it's about
Wrapped
to
in
break
chains
out.
that are bolted to the wall.
Did the chains look sturdy? Were they secure, or
Chloe, were they?
Actually, the chains did not seem to be bolted to the wall. They seemed to
Oh.
be wrapped heavily around the statue itself, and that's it.
The chains were just really wrapped around the statue. That's it.
did it look like the chains were coming undone, or that the statue was starting to, or the entity was starting to awaken from the statue?
I'd say more likely than not, yeah.
Oh boy! Well, I guess we should go maybe take a look before we leave.
Morgana checks the sky. Yeah, we got time.
Just to make sure, we didn't awaken a world-eating entity.
Yeah, I don't want to be
From a
responsible.
slumber.
Wait, are you the malevolent entity?
No. God, why do people keep saying stuff like that?
I mean, she did
Then
pop
just-
out of a
Then
flower.
offers a reassuring pat on Sadi's shoulder. It's just Stupid World. I've been here for a few months now. They keep doing that.
I mean, she popped out of a flower. I don't think that's the one we should be worried about. It's probably the one that's chained up that we should be worried about.
Well, obviously the chained up one is more dangerous, but you can't be too careful
Right.
with these things.
Did it look like me?
No.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's good.
All right. Muddle asks if, can you show us the way, just so we could take a quick peek and make sure we didn't awaken anything terrible?
Yeah,
Yep,
gang, let's
this way.
hustle.
Lynn leads the way. On the way, points out the fountain of endless water.
That's
Hello.
actually also in the palace, so...
Yep. It's on the way through the palace.
Yeah. Okay, so first, you all get to a statue of a woman in a dress holding up a large jug of water that is just pouring water from seemingly nowhere in huge quantities.
Would it be difficult to climb this statue?
I'm sorry.
It's, only about 8 to 9 feet tall.
Oh.
So, you could.
Well, remind me to check on that on the way out.
All right.
So where's your evil thingy?
This way. Down in the torture rooms.
Torture rooms.
Yeah, it's a palace. What sort of...
I look particularly
Palaces not have
interested in the
torture rooms in Stupid World.
Well, I mean, I would assume that nobility would have some kind of torture room, but I think they'd keep it separate from their home.
No.
No efficiency. Yeah, this way.
All right. She
is completely chill about the notion of leading everyone to the torture rooms.
through.
I am obviously interested in the idea of a torture room.
She leads you through what is clearly a throne room, where basically just the throne is still intact.
What's the throne made of?
It is made of stone. It's carved stone, but it doesn't seem much more ornate than that.
She considers her pickaxe and then keeps moving.
Are there bones around or anything?
No bones. Definitely rusted sets of armor.
Ugh, boring.
Yeah, they don't even have their whistles. It's Stupid World's fault. It has to be Stupid World's fault.
I just mean, I feel like they really, if you're going for the desecrated look, you gotta have some skeletons.
The queen generally did not go for the desecrated look. She generally went a lot more for the scraps and torture look.
It's absolutely going for the desecrated look.
Wait a second, this place was ruled by a queen?
Princess, actually.
Huh.
Well, princess in normal Zenith.
Fair.
Princess in normal Zenith.
We can call that a discrepancy if you like.
We can. I did offer to go through all the ludicrous things I was thinking of in terms of Lynn's alternate history, and you said no. Ref on it.
All right.
You did say that.
It's true. All right. So she leads you past the throne room and down some stairs into an area that has one room off to the side that you get an ominous feeling from before even walking through. When you get to the doorway and look inside, sure enough, as she described, is a statue of a Fey woman, absolutely covered in chains.
Huh, she seems nice.
I knew, right?
It does not look like anyone you knew.
Does she have an expression on her face? Or yeah, the Fey woman.
Oh, yeah, she seems pretty content.
Oh. Oh, well, looks like there's nothing to worry about. She's happy.
Am I getting any, empathetic food off of that feeling?
Food? In the same way that, technically you'd be getting food if someone took a whole baguette and tried to shove it down your throat at once.
Oh, so that means I'm feeling the same thing then.
Yes. Neither of you find it comfortable to be in this room at all. Actually, give me a perception check, Gina.
Okay. 9.
That's okay. You see what is basically the largest and most intense empathic imprint you've ever seen flowing off of this statue. It is extremely unpleasant and uncomfortable to look at, and it's so thick that it makes seeing the actual statue kind of difficult for you, despite usually not having a problem seeing through empathic imprints at all.
Oh, jeez. Guys, something bad happened here.
Like,
Well, happened or like gonna happen.
Or, yeah, it's
Or is ongoing happening?
either way. This is not a safe place to be.
I appraise the statue
Then just
No!
without touching it.
then just gives her a weird look. What part of potentially world-destroying malevolent entity sounds safe to you?
Listen, if I only
14.
ever did things that were safe, we wouldn't be here.
Your will save, as I'm assuming that is.
That was my to investigate the thing. If you want that to be a will save, okay?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, go ahead and keep your 14 for investigation, and yeah, give me give me an empathy roll of some kind that works.
Empathy. Okay. Do you want mental fortitude or insight? I think I'm trying
Mental
to gain
fortitude.
an insight here. Okay, mental fortitude. 18.
Okay. With your 18, you are able to will yourself into the room. It is really difficult, and as you approach the statue, it gets much more difficult. Every impulse in you is telling you that you should run.
Deep breath. Remember what Dad told you. Scary places are the best ones.
Here's a question: do I get to like enjoy that imprint?
Oh yeah.
Neat. I'm gonna bask in that and just try to focus on the good, terrible.
I am filled with determination.
And hardtack.
You
And
approach the
hardtack.
statue. You cannot
Mostly
make
hardtack.
yourself go closer than about 10 feet away.
Gotcha. Then I walk the circle around it to get a view of like all angles, and I also check the room to see if there's anything in the corners.
Alright. As you walk around the backside of it, you hear a large crumbling cracking sound from a ways away.
A ways away?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
not in your immediate vicinity.
Oh, well, if it's far away then. Nervous laughter starts. I complete my 360 of the statue. There wasn't anything else in the room?
No.
Okay, just the statue.
The feeling starts getting a bit more intense, though, the longer you are near it. Eileen
So there's-
almost certainly notices that the imprint is growing.
I calmly walk my way out of the room and then start sprinting.
So there's no
Oh
like
my God.
inscription on the statue or anything detailing like
Nope.
who it is or what it is. Nothing.
Nothing like that?
Oh,
If,
oh boy.
did anybody else hear the crumbling sound? I asked, did anybody else hear that crumbling sound?
As you're running away.
Everyone heard that
Yes.
crumbling sound.
Okay, well if Muddle hears that, he's also going to follow Morgana and get the hell out of there.
Which direction did the crumbling sound come from?
Far away.
A ways back the way you came.
Oh boy.
So, between us and the way out. Good to know. Time to start
Yeah.
running.
Alright. As you continue out of the palace,
As fast as possible.
as fast as possible, you get outside and don't really see anything different.
Well, that's odd.
Okay, freaked out for nothing. That's good. That's good.
So how much longer do we have until, we're stuck here forever?
Looks up at the sky. Checks the sun.
About 45 minutes.
Maybe we
All
should have
right.
stopped sprinting.
Have I found
Muddle's
some
gonna just-
shoes to wear, even if they're armor shoes?
You definitely find a couple pairs of greaves around.
Cool. I'm wearing those. I'm stuffing them with any clothing I find.
Okay.
Anything that could qualify as cloth, because my feet are fucking cold.
Alright, it isn't long before you have kind of cozy shoes.
I'm doing the same thing with armor. Like, I'm wearing it basically just to staple warm things to my body.
Alright.
I'm like the opposite of a stuffed animal.
Oh my god. Beautiful.
It looks preposterous. Also, I start looking for a place to jump off.
So, while running, trying to talk to Morgana. So you said this is your second expedition.
Yeah!
How often do we get close? Does it get close enough that you can get people here from Stupid World?
Really hard to tell. This was like a 1 in a million. the thing flies wherever the hell it wants to. It's the reason that if it gets away from here, we have no way of getting back.
Muddle starts running faster.
It's that chance of death on the contract. You knew what you were getting into, right?
Do I find a convenient place to jump off?
Lynn stops,
No.
unslings the large pack, and throws it at Morgana. She's wearing the smaller tapestry with the royal crest under the pack like a cape over her shoulders, turns back towards the palace and screams, "For valor and glory!" and charges back into the palace.
Alright.
What?
Where are you going?
To the statue. If it's gonna break out, she's going to. She full well knows she's almost certainly going to die fighting whatever comes out. But it will not take the world unimpeded.
Who's ever running next to me suddenly has 2 bags being shoved into them. As I
Oh my
sprint
God.
back to be like, no.
You're going all the way back to the statue?
Yep.
Unless I catch up to him first.
Her.
Her.
I meant EM.
Oh. Well,
As in
alright.
them.
You, make it all the way back to the statue.
Damn it, they beat me there.
It is exactly the same as you left it.
What are you doing?
She steadies herself on the stone benches she set up before to basically be pointing the arm crossbow directly between the eyes of the statue. When whatever this thing wakes up, gonna plug it in the face.
What if it doesn't wake up and you stay here forever and die?
Doesn't seem likely.
So it's more likely that the thing wakes up?
Yep.
Then why not just shoot it now?
Let it out.
God.
Takes time between shots.
So you just
Takes time between shots.
you're just gonna
Eyes are
stay here?
squishy. Eyeballs are
You're gonna-
squishy.
But you're not gonna.
Eyeballs are squishy.
But you signed the contract. We're a team, ain't we?
You've got the loot, don't you?
Well, I thought you said that you still had the tapestry on you.
No, though I got 2 tapestries. A big one that the books were wrapped in because she didn't have a space in her backpack for non-actual supplies. Her backpack has supplies in it. The big tapestry has the books and the loot in it. The small tapestry is being worn as a cape.
Oh, you threw the big tapestry at us?
Because that's what the loot was wrapped in.
Oh, I thought I thought you threw us your backpack and kept the tapestry.
No.
I totally misunderstood.
Okay, so you wouldn't have run after her if you had realized
Totally
it.
would have run after her.
Okay.
Like, we're a team now. You signed the contract. Those are important. We came in together. We leave together.
Sunny did not run back, for the record. Like,
No, of course not.
I'm just chilling with like whoever else didn't run into the valley and spiral.
I assume Muddle now has everyone's backpacks for some reason. And I'm just confused.
I feel like I need to add something to it, so I find a rock nearby and put it on top.
Oh my god.
You know, it seems to be the thing to do, I say out loud.
At what point does Muddle just fall over under all the stuff he's given?
Give
You're
me a
powerful,
roll.
Why'd
aren't you?
you say that? I don't. Oh. Okay. I'm gonna say, can I add anything?
If you've got, like, probably power.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, I got that.
Look at that.
Oh
power.
boy. Oh, good.
Does the rock tip the scale?
You're pretty sure you'll be fine as long as you don't try to take a step.
All right. Are we close enough to the end, like where we came in, so that, you know, worst case, I could just drop everything and run?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, I'll stand there for a minute holding things.
I know what I'm gonna do. Okay, I got
The
an idea.
statue, for the record, continues not changing at all.
How about this? The city's gonna fly away, go way north. No way anything's getting on or off of it. I can track where the city's gonna go next. We can find where our next spot to jump on is. That will also be the time that the evil thing can jump off, and we can stop it then. It'll be stuck on the city for who knows how long, and we can be there when the city's ready again.
Fine.
Oh, thank God, let's go. Thank you, let's go.
Alright.
I'm
Thank
not losing
expletive.
I'm not losing my best expedition team ever.
Oh my god.
Holy
Alright.
crap.
As we're running away, I know I hired you for one job, but like, do you want to become a permanent employee?
I took an oath.
To me, when you sign the contract, yes.
Earlier oath takes precedence.
Well, now I would argue with that. Newer contracts tend to annul older contracts.
You a queen?
No.
Royalty trumps commoners.
I am no commoner.
You are to me.
I
You're
come
from Stupid World.
I come from a long line of very rich people.
You're from
my
Stupid World.
Stupid world money is still money.
Zenith, it's not.
I'm assuming this is as we're sprinting.
Oh yes, this is full Benny. This is a full Benny Hill.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god. Alright.
So what is this oath?
To defend the city.
So if you stay with me and I track the city, and when it comes back for us to stop whatever's happening right now, you will still be fulfilling your oath as long as you stay with me.
Correct.
So there we go. We're good. You're on board. Welcome to the team.
Oh my god.
We'll have to write up a new contract, though.
Then studiously says nothing, particularly about the fact that the writing on his map made quite clear that she can read and write perfectly well and simply chose not to when it came to finding his quantum.
Hilarious.
I'm having so
Alright. So, y'all are running straight back? No
Oh, yeah.
detours or anything?
Yep.
Okay.
I as much as I want to go back to that fountain, no way.
Alright. You make it back to the group. You probably have about 15 minutes left.
All right, to the cliff. Let's go.
Excuse
I'm hanging
me.
out there, so
Oh, I gather you up from the pile of loot.
Thank you.
Lynn shoulders the bag of books.
I put on my big backpack.
And as soon as he's free, Muddle just runs.
Good idea,
He's just
Muddle.
like, I'm out.
All right. You head over to the east gate of the city. When you get there, you can see the ridge that is going to get close enough to jump to. It is another, 15 or so foot drop, and definitely not onto as solid land as last time. But, you are approaching it.
Are there any trees or large outcroppings nearby?
Does anybody else's backpack have bedrolls?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I just start cutting the bedrolls off of people's backpacks, using the rope that's in my backpack to tie them together to basically make a soft slide thing. And then,
Cool.
then as we're approaching, I put down the bag and say, okay, I'm going to do the dive roll thing with the shield again and then tie the other end to something. We can slide down this.
Okay, I'll hold the other end.
Sounds great. Good plan.
Cool.
All right. As the landmass approaches,
Actually, when I'm doing that dive roll, how good would a tent work as an improvised parachute for that short a drop?
15 feet, not great.
Yeah.
In
Makes
fact,
sense.
with all of the wind, it might even, blow you off the side.
Yeah, that would probably be bad. Not gonna do that. Stick to the plan. Dive and swear. Dive and swear. Curse of the universe until it makes a barrier to make you shut up.
Perfect. All right. You jump off. Give me a roll.
$20.
Okay. This time, it goes flawlessly when you make that jump. It looks fantastic. Your ankles don't even hurt.
Awesome. Practice makes glory.
You the best one-liners.
So as soon as I land, I'm trying to anchor our improvised bedroll slide to whatever there is there. Is there a large rock? Is there a tree? Is there anything?
There are definitely trees.
Cool. I am going to take the two corners at my end and tie it to a tree as tightly as I can.
All right. And
I'm holding
Morgana
the other
at the top is holding the top part of it.
Was there anything there that Morgana should have anchored it to other than themselves?
If you look around, it's definitely possible to, but if you're holding it, you'll have a much longer period of time for people to slide down than if it's anchored to something, because it will swiftly get to the end of its rope and
well,
start
once it's in
tearing.
place, I just kind of,
Slide on
straight
down.
down. Yeah.
All right,
Sensible.
give me a roll.
You want me to roll for sliding?
I do, yes.
All right. Cool. I'm gonna athletics it.
All right,
15.
you slide down.
It would be really strange if I slid up.
Then immediately helps Sati out of the slide that sort of turns into a hammock at the bottom. And then just blows her whistle really loudly and shouts, "Next."
Muddle, the treasure.
Okay, great. Muddle takes all the treasure and stuff and gets on and prepares to slide down.
All
I
right,
have
give me a roll.
rolling.
Oh, joy. All right, I guess I'll add, athletics, right?
Yeah.
Is there any kind of aid another that I could do from the bottom by just sort of trying to tug the cloth to keep people in the middle of it?
Almost certainly if something starts going wrong.
Cool. I will be alert to try to do that.
All right. Muddle makes it down just fine.
Hey.
Whistle, shout, next.
Me. Yeah. 17.
All right. You're down just fine, too.
Whistle, shout, next.
What are we doing for Morgana?
Okay.
Should we just pull her in? If she holds on, we can just pull her.
Gather up the end of it to where I feel like I'm holding it like really tight, like it's wrapped around my arm. And I walk towards the edge and look down and say, "So y'all are holding the other end, right?"
I'm not.
Because I'm jumping off the cliff, and you need to make sure to pull me up.
Don't headbutt the tree.
I would actually at this moment like grab my whip to try to whip the tree, but I sent her down with my backpack, so
That is true.
Oh, beautiful.
Move it. Chicken.
I jump.
All right, give me a roll.
And I try to do so at an angle that's more of a swing for this thing rather than a dead drop.
I'm having this moment that's a lot like when the harpy decided to dive attack into the helicopter blades.
Oh, God.
Shit!
The moment that Morgana jumps, Lynn is just twisting herself under the bedrolls, getting an arm up under it to just yank forward with everything she's got.
All right, can Noel just
roll.
drop everything and help too?
And absolutely.
Yay.
Let's see. That's probably a reaction speed roll. 13.
Okay. And Muddle?
Oh, okay. I don't know if I should add anything to this, but we're gonna go with it.
Power!
Power?
Probably
All right,
power.
great.
Reaction and power.
Cool.
I will say y'all heard a
15. Okay. You yank really hard, and Morgana clears the edge of the cliff and makes it, but as she jumps, her hat blows off.
Oh!
Which way does it go?
It falls off right as you're making the jump, the moment they pull, and the wind blows it in such a way that it catches on the edge of the island. You can see it from here. It's only about it's a little ways down, so it's about 8 to 9 feet up.
Whip now, whip, gimme. You've got my backpack.
All right, I'll run and get the whip and then throw it at him and then go back to holding the sleep.
No, we've pulled her onto the cliff top that's below
Oh,
Zenith.
okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Then I'll just throw her the whip.
And
All right. You have the whip.
And I whip the hat.
All right. Give me a roll.
I think it's only a +1.
Nat one.
Damn it.
Did I will you into a nat one?
It's
Okay.
not good enough.
10. Okay. You hit the rock right next to the hat, knocking it loose. It is falling and blowing on the breeze. Let me Let me give the wind a roll here.
Can I get a luck roll?
Okay.
Now, wait a second.
Okay.
Now, wait, may I make an argument real quick before you say the outcome of this?
Sure.
A high roll would be beneficial to the wind, and that means beneficial to you, which means hurting me.
Why
Now,
is
what
that
two-
beneficial to the wind? What does the wind want with your hat?
If it was my hat, obviously, then I wouldn't have taken it otherwise.
No.
So
It's not.
means the
It
wind
does not have a
motive.
motive.
The wind is not sentient.
Can I sense motive the wind?
Yes, sense motive the wind. Do it. Insight
Alright,
check
insight-
right now.
insight check. What is the wind's motive here? Is there some malevolent spirit?
18. You got a fantastic roll. You have a deep understanding that you are an insignificant speck in the vast universe, that there are forces that have no mind, no will towards you, and yet have vast control over your life, and you have no power to fight against them.
So what happened to the hat? Now that Morgana's having an existential crisis, what happens to the hat?
The hat does only lightly blow from there. It lands a ways down the mountain that you are currently on. You're on a ledge, and it drops to a lower ledge.
Can it have landed on like the head of a mountain goat or something?
No, that would have been if I had rolled a serene number.
Okay. Safe for now.
It's landed on a ledge that's lower down. You can't really safely just go down to it because it's a sheer drop. But it is still only about 10 feet down. And no longer on zenith.
Okay. Whew. Do y'all have any idea how mad I would have been if that had ended up on whatever friggin' malevolent thing was up there? Oh, I'd be so pissed. Whew. Best expedition ever. Oh my god. Oh my fuck. Oh my fuck.
No, you don't have any fuck.
Morgana turns, still standing at the very edge of this cliff, and goes, "You all are amazing."
Yeah, you might want to grab that hat before the wind picks up again.
I'm gonna go get my hat.
Lynn untangles.
You said it was 10 feet down?
Yeah, about there.
I have another thing.
Lynn unties the emergency slide and rolls up the bedrolls and hands them back to people.
Actually, no. My other piece of rope is this the same ledge that we jumped off of, or no?
Nope.
No.
It wouldn't be. No, it wouldn't be. Well, then I need to go retrieve my other rope from there, but first I'm going to go down and find a way to get to my hat.
Lynn just hands Morgana the rope that was holding the emergency slide together.
Oh, you're amazing.
And I... Do one of you want to hold this, or is there a good way for me to tie this off somewhere to get down there?
Lynn points at the tree.
Muddle says, "Sure, I'll hold it too."
Let's
Lynn doesn't say anything but points to the tree.
It's tree, please, Lynn, please, tree.
I hold the rope anyway.
Lynn doesn't hold the rope and just remarks to Sati, "I never knew why lunatic management was so big a part of the curriculum for being trained for the Queen's Regiment, but clearly Her Majesty knew Stupid World was coming."
Oh, God.
Uh-huh.
And I start climbing down.
All right.
When you're about three-fourths of the way down, let a little bit of slack go. Just a smooth.
One sec, let me do a mental fortitude check real quick. Let me just
Hands
do
up.
that.
Anyone who's surprised. Anyone?
I don't think anyone's raising their hands.
No.
Okay, all right. Mental fortitude's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not gonna make myself take stress damage.
You're fine.
Damn it, Sati!
What? You're the one that wanted the tree.
I get my hat.
You acquire your hat.
I do a really fancy, like, flipping it up onto my head thing. You know, the kind of movement that I've done a million times but haven't had the chance to show in front of anybody yet.
Yeah.
But you're rolling to see whether or not the wind took your hat while you were flipping it.
It was not a throw flip. It was not thrown in the air. It was in my hands, flipped through fingers.
That's probably for the best. All right.
Okay.
You redon your
Sati,
hat.
you got me?
Yeah, I pull you up.
Okay, I climb back up. And that is when Morgana lies on the ground, splayed out like, oh my god.
Lynn just sort of leans over Morgana. I understand this might be a new concept for you, since Stupid World only uses elevators for cargo instead of people. But you can keep a hat on your head with hairpins.
With what? You cut out right at the end there.
Hairpins.
Hairpins. Oh, that is a good idea. Oh, that is a good idea. You're a smart person. I'm glad I hired you.
I'm really not. This is just Stupid World.
Hey, real quick, does the world have an actual name, Chloe? Can I correct this person? What do I call my world?
But also, I was so focused on things like country names, I haven't made one yet. After all my prep, this is the thing I didn't have ready. Yikes.
I could set a dangerous precedent by declaring a name.
Maybe not.
I have a very good idea, but not for, like, serious story purposes.
Then maybe definitely not.
Then I'm gonna say this out of game. This won't be canon. No, it's the planet is called Supid, not Stupid. Come on, get it right.
Stupid. Oh my god.
They've been hearing it wrong the whole time. Is the assumption I'd make.
Jeez.
It's a dumb name, though.
Alright. You all are at the top of a mountain, about a couple 100 miles east from where you jumped on. No, that's not right. A ways east, though.
Oh, so this is the same mountain range, different mountain peak?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes more sense. I was thinking solitary mountain.
Yeah, different mountain range. Or same mountain range, different mountain peak. And, yeah, it's some miles away.
Would I have scouted this place out ahead of time at all, knowing that this was the jumping point? Or the...
Oh yeah, you know where
point.
you are.
Okay.
You
Oh,
are
excuse me, sorry.
about 6 or so hours of travel outside of a port town called Sari. Sari.
All right. Well, let's get down the mountain and head to Sari. We can go through the loot there.
Sounds
Even
great.
your towns apologize for being part of Stupid World.
You know, there's a really interesting story behind why it's called Sari.
Oh god.
Is there now?
Yeah, I don't know
Enlighten
what
us.
that-
Oh, great. Okay.
I've heard there's a really great story. We'll have to ask some of the townspeople when we get there.
You know, it occurs to me, I never asked you, Morgana, What happened to your last team of expeditioners?
None of them wanted to come for a second one.
You don't say.
Yeah, I sent out like 5 extra letters and none of them... Or did any of them reply, Chloe?
Oh yeah, 5 people who said they'd be there just never showed up.
Oh, gotcha. Well, they said they'd be here. But you came instead, and, you're better. They would have probably left me for dead at any of those moments.
You don't say.
Yeah, so I'm so glad y'all didn't.
This is what Lynn just sort of turns and says, yes. See, when we're thinking of leaving someone for dead, we don't tell them. It ruins the surprise.
Huh. Good idea.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So, Sati, you coming with?
I don't want to stay on the top of this mountain.
That's what they're calling it. I don't know where the name comes from.
All right.
Stupid.
This
Sati,
place
do you know
seems
how to write
awful.
your name?
I'm leaving.
It is awful. It really
Start
is.
walking down.
I'll have her sign it later.
Alright. The trek
I'm
down...
not a fan of mountains. I've decided this is a bad place.
Yep.
I lead the way down because I know the way.
I am like crammed inside of a suit of armor, but like it wasn't made for any of the bits I have. And I've also got like several shirts stuffed in there. And in the shoes.
You know what?
And a relic.
Armor could be pretty good. Pretty valuable. Ancient suit of armor. Who knows?
All I'm saying is I am like a tin can stuffed with napkins. I'm leaving.
Oh my
It
god.
sounds weird.
Alright. Well, the trek down the mountain is a lot easier than the one up. For all of the reasons. But also just that this mountain is an easier hike anyway. By the time you are getting near the bottom of it, it is definitely getting dark, though.
Will it be pitch black before we get to the city?
Probably at this rate.
Okay, we should probably make camp for the night. I find wherever I established my base camp the last time I was here, and lead us there.
Alright. It's not actually that hard to find.
Nice. Alright, everybody. This is camp for the night. Tomorrow we head to Sari.
Sorry.
Did anyone butcher that stalker?
The what?
What?
It was.
The cat?
Yeah.
I mean, I took a bite out of it.
I mean, it was pretty well charred.
Looking proud of myself.
Yeah, I thought it was a little overcooked. Luckily, Muddle has a backpack full of those flowers, though.
I
You
had
need to
intended
add
take one of
something
its fangs.
to the flowers.
They are, in fact, a seasoning.
I thought you said all we had to do was cook the flowers.
In Stupid World, you cook things that are just one thing.
I feel betrayed.
No, but you didn't say we cook it with other things. You made me feel like this is some kind of magic flower that you only need to eat by itself.
Yeah, you
It is
said
a magic
eat
flower.
The flower. Eat the flower. Oh, man. Muddle drops all the flowers and goes away from everyone else and starts setting up his tent.
Does the base camp have a
Yeah, it's in my backpack.
Lynn takes the cook pot to where the fire pit is, starts a fire, and starts trying to basically make hardtack pudding seasoned with eternal fortunes.
Oh god.
I definitely provide
Because it's the
hardtack,
best she can do.
But when you're doing the fire, I pull the log out.
Alright. You've got a log.
Oh, wait a second. I don't know what it does yet. Never mind. Don't do that. It stays
What?
slung where it was, unless someone points out that I have the log.
Lynn wasn't there for the thing with the log, so
Give me a perception check. It's, like, roped to the outside, so you might have noticed it.
natural 20.
Okay, yeah, you definitely noticed that log, and you even know what it does.
Cool. Since out of character, I don't know what it does.
When you light it on fire, it stays lit on fire. For as
And doesn't get
long as
consumed,
you
I
don't
assume?
put it out. And it doesn't get consumed, no.
Then just sort of gestures at the log on Morgana's back in a sort of a gimme gesture.
But this is treasure. You can't burn this. I mean, I get it that we need fuel, but come on.
Of course you burn it. You burn it forever. That's what it does.
That's what it does? It doesn't just look cool? Cool! And she throws it at you.
Lynn catches it and adds it to the fire, meanwhile wondering how long it's going to be before stupid world seems like enough of an expletive to her to power her barrier.
Alright, when it's added to the fire, it lights up quickly. Like, sort of like one of those logs that you can buy in, like, grocery stores that are meant to. Except it doesn't burn away.
Burn up.
Yeah.
Huh. Nice. Morgana sets up her tent.
Well, I don't have a tent, so I just sit next to the fire like a cat.
Hey, Sati, you can use mine. Should be big enough. It's a... One sec. It's a... Oh no, it just says tent. Damn it, I thought it said large tent. Oops.
I'll be fine.
You sure? It gets, really cold.
I squinted the mountain. Yeah.
Alright.
Lynn just sort of tries to say, yeah, you don't really get used to it. It's this huge thing. And it's all one thing. It doesn't even change as you go up and down it, except it gets colder.
That's annoying.
It
Well,
is.
After
On the plus
Muddle-
side, the plants here don't try to eat you. That is a plus, and I admit that it's a plus.
I look at her confused.
All right. Well, after Muddle pitches his tent, he'll go and hand over the sleeping bag to Sati.
I pull the sleeping bag over my metal
It's a-
carapace.
I have a Fae though, so it's probably a little small. But if you just, it should be
That's
fine.
alright, I try.
If it's just like my calves that are in there, it's okay.
So for attempting to make boiled hardtack pudding with eternal fortunes, am I relying on crafting or imagination?
I would accept either.
Imagination it is. 22.
What?
Are you a magical girl?
Yes.
I knew it.
What?
Stop looking at 20s. You gotta like save some of that luck for the rest of us. At least
It was. Ow. Lungs, I need you.
Okay.
you know,
Oh,
I
better
take
go
it
to
back.
doctor tomorrow.
You earned the nat 20s.
Somehow, through the power of imagination and the fact that you were all extremely
power
fatigued
of-
and hungry,
It's the power of righteous purpose creating glory.
you were all so hungry that this is just the best food.
You know what? I take back what I said. Hardtack is better than cookies. Please write down whatever recipe you just used.
Fire. The recipe was fire.
And these flowers. That made the difference?
Yes. It has
How
to.
many of these flowers did you get?
I had like a whole lot.
I am going to shove a flower in my mouth.
It tastes slightly like pepper.
I nod slowly.
The flowers are just
Though
pepper.
this makes
That's
sense to me.
It does
It does
not.
not.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, after you all have just a fantastic meal, and you bed down.
Hell yeah, we do.
Oh my god. You go to sleep.
I cuddle my whip.
Kinky. Sati, do you just sleep outside?
Yeah, I'm like
facing the fire in my metal tin
like
warming
thing.
Just get down inside of it the best you can, like a turtle?
Yeah,
Yeah, and I've got the heating pack on the back.
Oh,
Cover the other side.
Beautiful. Okay. Alright. Night passes. This is a point that we could potentially stop if y'all want to. I have more stuff, though, we can do, so no worries if you want to keep going.
How long does Gina have?
About half an hour.
Is other stuff like
an
an easy place to close in
an
an hour?
Or
Or are we
Um,
looking at like not having a good place to stop if we continue?
Probably not going to have a good place to stop for at least a little while.
Okay, well then let's just pick up like soonish with what's planning to be done.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'm
Yeah.
good with ending episode 1 here.
One more
Alright.
thing.
Yeah.
Sati, give me a roll.
What kind of role?
Mental fortitude?
Oh,
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that sounds
great.
That's not concerning at all.
Good for
me. I have +2 mental fortitude. It's a 6.
Hey.
Yeah, you wake up screaming your lungs out.
Neat.
I
I wake up screaming my lungs out, guys. That's where we'll leave this.
cool. We have a succubus alarm.
Yes, that is what I am. Ask no further questions.
Alright.
Alright, well. Also bye.
Session 1 complete.
Yay.
Yeah.
That
We all
was something.
survived! Yay!
Yeah.
It's true.
And didn't even drop anyone off the edge of the cliff.
Not for lack of trying.
I was about to say, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought about it at one point.
I mean, it's in there.
Going back for the hat, of all things.
That is a very important hat.
I was kind of hoping that you failed to retrieve the hat. Just see what happened.
I mean, what is an Indiana Jones style character without their hat?
It's
Oh.
my hat. I can't leave that behind. If there is a falling temple and that hat ends up in the middle of it, I will sprint in to get that hat.
It's good to know that, like, you already know how you're going to die.